Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast, is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support the show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Salutations, everybody. It is Maddie here today. Hope you're all doing absolutely excellent. Today, we are gathering for episode 283 of Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast. Our video watchers out there, yeah, if you listen on audio and you got time later in the day or something like that, and you can just set aside a little bit just to see how my man's posted up right now, the length we'll go to for Defining Duke. I'm here at midnight, Cogs podcasting in the dark. Cog, how are you doing today all the way in LA?
Shout out from LA, man. I'm hurting. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm hurting. But man, first of all, my hotel situation is a bit sus. yeah, seems it. I'm dealing with conditions, you know what I'm saying? Low lighting. Internet's good, but it kind of reminds me of the story when you told me, you know, wifey, and you're in one of these boutique hotels. Yeah. And it's like, bro, communal style shower kind of thing. Yeah. And I'm like, me and Attic ain't a couple, bro. Like this is not that, bro. You walk in the room and the sink is right there.
Oh no.
Outside the bathroom.
I don't know what these hotel rooms are doing lately between you and I. Like, I don't know what we're trying to do. It's don't reinvent the wheel. Walk in, bathroom to my right. Walk a little bit further, 2 queens or 1 king, like, you know, a window on the far side, AC in the corner, desk TV. It needs to be nothing else. That's it.
Bro, this joint, picture, there's literally the bathroom, the toilet. They have a toilet in like a closet. And It's a sliding door. Then it's the shower is like the size of a closet, really tight, sliding door, sink outside. So you got to come through showing the jewels just to get out the shower. Like, bro. So we at it. I'm like, bro, I'm coming out now. All right, cool.
Yeah, you got
we had to come up with a system. I was like, what is this room? I don't want to blow up the hotel's name. But at the end of the day, this was a last
you want to respect the honest business here.
I'm going to be respectful. The only thing saving them, I will say this hotel I'm at has the best internet I have ever been in a hotel for the most part, almost like 200 up 200. That's rare. Most hotels, you get 5
crazy.
Yeah. So you get.
Oh, never mind. You're fine. You're fine. Yeah, you're doing all right.
Yeah. So that's why I said, you know what? You allowed me to do it, but as you can see, the lighting is horrible. They like, bro. Last thing, this is a joke. Why over the beds? They got handlebars over the beds.
Oh no! Oh no!
What we getting into over here?
Oh no!
I'm gonna put about my
you get to the side eye. You walking in there with Attic, bro. That's not good for you.
Well, I looked at Attic. I said, Attic, why is there handlebars over the bed? What type of situations happen in this hotel?
Yeah. Yeah, between that and the one I went to with the bathtub in the middle of the bedroom that had like no actual curtain, I was just like, man, good. I'm glad I'm here with my wife, you know, like otherwise it'd just be like if I was in your situation, that's like, bro, you gotta leave the room when you shower.
Oh yeah, bro. Like this is ridiculous. Like this is like couples room, and I'm like, yeah, this is crazy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the reason Cog is out in LA and in this freaky hotel is because it's Summer Games Fest. A lot of showcases going on. And of course, we're here to talk about the Xbox Game Showcase as per usual. For those who are new here, though, what we do is this is the week we double up. So Cog and I are here recording Sunday night. We'll have this episode out as soon as possible. And then for those of you who are looking for the more standard episode, we're going to record that on Wednesday and release it at our normal time to patrons on Thursday and to everyone else on a Sunday. With that said, I don't know if it's officially the plan yet, but I'd like to bring Brad into the building. Brad's curse may have actually been cut off. So I saw a little bit of the digital play-by-play. Apparently, you and Brad bumped into one another. At that moment, there was a Peggy leak, and it was that Gears was going to PS5, and everyone was like, oh boy, for the showcase, here we go. But Grubb sweeps in, saves the day, saying that just got shut down. And then obviously, as we'll talk about, it got confirmed. So maybe Brad he might be safe coming into the realm of the Dukes, right? We held him off as best we could. Got a little dicey there.
I got a Brad story for you.
We got a Brad story? Hit me with it.
All right, bro. So me and Brad have bumped into each other multiple times. So the first day I get here and it's Summer Games Fest, and I see him like, damn, should we do it? Should we take the picture? Should we tempt fate, Maddie? You know what I mean? Like, we're doing so well. This is the eve of the showcase. I'm like, man, I said, bro, I'll let you come in. We're going to take this picture. And I put, or if you saw on socials, I was like, despite the curse, I still love you at Bradley Ellis. And so people go, no, Cog, no. Don't do it. So it's hilarious. So we do that. Then obviously, like you said, the news happens. And, it's just one of those situations where we're like, okay, we're going to see how it go. And we'll get into the showcase stuff. But then we saw each other after showcase and we were talking and stuff like that. And I was like, bro, we survived you.
Yeah. You could argue Brad might have caused a 2-year in a row Call of Duty show closer. Like, you could make that argument.
You could make that argument.
Like him being on the grounds there caused some like crazy brain funk going on where they're like, let's run that back. That was pretty good for us. Let's run that back. So not scot-free, but definitely you guys made physical contact, took pictures together, engaged, brought him into the realm of Xbox, and his touch did not destroy too much here. So that's good.
And he did say he would like to, schedule permitting, say come on afterwards and stuff like that. Like, we're really going to test the limits of this.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that, Cog, let's talk about it, man. I mean, this was a hell of a show, and I'd love to get your thoughts, general impressions from the top, looking down at just everything we got. How are you feeling walking out of the 2026 Xbox Game Showcase for the summer?
Let me tell you, walking in first, I was very nervous. I was very nervous for them. I didn't know what to expect, bro. Like, it's a new regime. Obviously, it's Asha. Obviously, she's built this team around her. And, it's one of those situations where this could go either way. Like, I feel like making that first impression on this stage when it's you is a huge deal. And I thought coming in, I felt good, especially the way it started. I felt like she literally set the tone, and we're going to get into each of the announcements. But I thought it was very important for her to be a part of it at a single part of it, and really put her mark as to what direction they want to go as an organization. And we got some answers on that pretty quickly. Sure. So yeah, that's my initial. And I will say, the energy right now from the community is super rejuvenated. Like, I haven't seen this level of swag, and I don't want to say we so back. I ain't going on there, but dude's feeling good. Yeah, feeling good. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, dude. I personally, I mean, for the show itself, I just want to know, like, did you liked it? I'm assuming you were feeling like energy, like, be back.
Yeah, I'm right now. If I'm doing my rating, I'm on my 8.5. There was still like a couple things I like. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of things I like. There were just one or two nitpicks that I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to clean that up. Or hey, I think me and you gonna share one specifically towards the end. But other than that, there was some megatons for me that I was surprised to see, show their face. And then there was some games that really showed out. But I'm in 8.5 mode right now. I got to do a rewatch because, again, I'm in the building. It's a different energy. But I will say this. I want to say that this is an exclusive. What you guys don't see is after the lights go down. And Mad Booty, the booty comes out. They roll the booty out. Asha comes out. They brought back Major Nelson. So this is like
I saw that.
Yeah. So it was like an old school feel. And here's where she stole the crowd, bro.
Oh,
because remember, during the conference, they did mention how the Xbox 25, the console, the 25th edition Series X, remember? The translucent, giving it that old Duke energy, right? Got Duke so nice. So nice, right? I'm like, bro, she gets up and she's like, everyone here that is part of this fan fest and part of the situation, all of you are getting Xbox Series X consoles. The crowd got up, they were bowing, they were cheering, like it was insane. Now, jealous, I ain't gonna hold you. I was a little jealous because I was media at that point. At that point, I was like, damn, only the fans though?
Yeah.
I was my feelings for a little bit, but bro, it was beautiful. And on two levels. One, because of the fact this is the first time, Maddie, we really even seen advertising for the current generation console.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're talking supply chain. And then we're talking, okay, we want to reinstill confidence. That singular moment off camera brought her so much goodwill. I know people can say, oh, she just gave, bro, it's a big deal from a Series X and S generation perspective. Sure. I thought it was big. And they seem to be doubling down on the messaging as far as, bringing value back to the console. That's what I kept when I talked in circles, when I talked to different people. That seemed to be the consistent theme from everyone I talked to, whether it be executive leaderships, on record, off record. It all kind of hinted and alluded, we want to know what you think because we're doing something. Now, granted, are there issues with the vision? Is it perfect and clean? No. But it seems to be trending in a direction. And the last thing I'll say is that I get the sense that they really wanted to be even more extra, but because of maybe contractual things in place, they couldn't do everything they wanted to do. So I'm seeing like a from this point forward kind of energy is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at right now.
Right on. Yeah, no, I thought they did a great job today, honestly. Like I thought the show from top to bottom was really good, honestly. At first when I finished it, I was kind of like, oh, that was good, but I realized some of the specific pain points they hit for me were like the worst kinds, and I'll talk about two of them. I'm with you. There's two. That didn't distract me from the show, but it definitely made me feel a little lower. Where this is why it's important, I think, for a lot of us out there enjoying the conversation online, like go look at your list and go check out how you feel. And when I put the list together, I was like, oh no, this is like 15 games that I'm totally about. And they did a great job. I thought they made some important messages within the show, from hardware to software, like strategy wise. Obviously, I'm not full send like, oh, we back, but it's definitely like, okay, I'm seeing the start of something. Is it optics or not? That's actually going to be, I think, part one of our conversation for this. But I did like what they did. I thought this is a great show. There's just two stingers in it that I'm like, oh, I don't know about that. But otherwise, I think it was really just missing the magic finale. That was really it from a showcase perspective. Like it had, honestly, it was just an order thing too. Like you could have flipped some of the orders and you would have had, I could pick one announcement there. That was the magic moment that they should have done it on. But, whatever. At a certain point, they delivered a lot of, I think, a couple of dream announcements there. So we'll talk about that. But yeah, I liked it. I thought they did a really good job. And I'm really happy to see the community thrilled, dude. Like, not just for exclusivity, but it's good to see people excited that Xbox is trying to compete. The top comment on my video talking about the showcase was just like, a more competent, creative, and competitive Xbox is good for this industry. And like, I fully agree. That's why they felt my fucking wrath these last year and a half or so, bro. Because it's like, you guys are completely punting it, and you watch how PlayStation gets, and Nintendo will always operate on their own, and Steam will always operate on their own. Like, it doesn't make for a good industry when it's all segmented like that. When they're all running by their own rule books, they got to fight each other. We need them in the streets fighting each other. And so, I just like to see the Xbox is getting out there more. And will it hold consistent or not? That's the second part of the conversation. They've got to hold up their end of the bargain. But, while this had nothing to really do with Summer Games Fest, that Bloomberg interview that Asha Sharma did is probably one of the best interviews I've heard from an exec in a while. Her saying, look, there's no 30% accountability margin. Her admitting we're not in a healthy spot. Just not to go in on Phil and say, I'm not trying to do this whole like, fuck them now because the new one's in. I'm sure Asha will do something eventually that pisses us off. It's part of her job. But just one thing that I think Phil and Sarah really struggled about was saying the quiet part out loud without completely dogging the brand. Phil's kind of like lying on his back, like we'll never out console Sony, like that sort of stuff. The kind of what people would say is the loser mentality, whether it was true or not, just didn't sound good from the fan perspective, right? You and I have talked about that. Whereas something like Asha being like, yeah, we're not in a great spot, but we want to be the number one publisher in the industry. We want to be number one platform in the industry. Like those choice words are huge. And I think about like Sarah Bond's Bloomberg interview after they did the exclusivity thing. And like, I really like Sarah Bond, but that was her worst interview for sure. And she looked like she was extremely visibly
very uncomfortable,
frazzled by that, very uncomfortable. It was a human moment. I'm not going to judge her for that, but like, it's just a night and day moment there where you're like, okay, she's moving different. She's moving to the beat of her own drum a little bit and kind of saying like, this is what it gives the vibe. This is what I want to do. I need the information for it to feel confident with those moves. And now she feels confident with those moves and she's speaking out more and more. So, it's been the first, she said that these are the first 100 days. The next 100 days are about making console more affordable. And you're starting to see how they're moving in phases. And so that if they can find a way to start beating the price tag on hardware, that is where I will start to really champion a little bit more. Because right now I like Asha a lot. I think she's doing great stuff. But like, I thought this is a significant day for the fans of Xbox. And it's like one of the first times I've like went, dude, fuck yeah. Like I feel really good about them right now, So that's awesome. Like barring the announcements, it's just the vision, the communication, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. So good showcase, man. But just like I'm really happy for them, and I hope it holds up. That's what I'm looking for here.
Well said. And again, like you said, just to reiterate on your point in reference to that competitive spirit, right? One of the, faults of, you could say, of the past regime is a lot of people did not like, quote unquote, the kumbaya mentality, right? And I get it. Look, I've always said, if it's about survival, I'll understand. I may not like it, but I'll understand. And the difference what I'm seeing now is just like, no, we want to fight. We want to make this the most competitive thing. We want to be number one. Right now, we're the number 2 publisher, like you said in the Bloomberg interview. And to be brutally honest, not that Bloomberg is, I don't want to be disrespectful to their outlet, but I don't go to them for like the cunning, hardcore gamer news. The questions I felt that she was given were excellent, but
so good.
They could be perceived, if you are not ready, thinking that you're coming in with softball answers, to be sandbagged. Like you could be set up. Because there was moments during the thing where I felt Asha looked at her like, okay, oh, you asked that. Okay. But she was ready and prepared. There was a quiet confidence. And I said to myself, wow, this is impressive. And she doesn't allow herself to be overwhelmed in the moment. And I thought that was a good sign from that. Because when the interviewer started off, Manny, she was like, so you started and you come from Core AI and Xbox gamers feel like, here, you're going to kill the brand. So what do you think about that? Like literally what people...
Oh, the interviewer is amazing. Like,
bro,
that's the type of interview we were looking for. And I mean, it was 15 minutes, but it was the best damn 15 minutes you could see in use, bro. It was really, really good. If anyone's not listened to it, like sincerely, it's excellent.
Bro, I have a theory. Maybe I'm out of pocket. I feel Jason or somebody was lining this woman up with good questions for a Spryo. like, because these questions were
I had the same thought, yeah.
Bro, these were the most hardcore, you're tuned into the gaming streets of Xbox.
Asha called it out. She's like, I'm surprised you know about this stuff. Like, yeah. And so I think someone fed her those. Yeah, 100%.
100%. Spryo, I'm calling you. I bumped into a bunch of times. I didn't get a chance to talk to him about that. But I felt he fed these questions because only someone like that would know what's going on. But anyway, to her defense, very strong, very confident. Obviously, in contrast to last time Xbox leadership was, on that platform. And yeah, I just think it's, like you said, a competitive industry. We always want that because at the end of the day, when one person is in power, it doesn't matter who it is, even if Xbox, like the lackadaisical nature of the winner, so to speak. Now they don't have to compete. Now you have to deal with them, at the mercy of their ego because you have nowhere else to go. But I just wanted to get that point because I do agree with you on that.
100%. Defining Duke and Xbox podcast is brought to you by Shopify. Ladies and gentlemen, look, we've all had those big business ideas we've brought to our friends. We have this dream of getting together, starting that business, but then it falls apart quickly. But you believe in it. You know that idea is something, but you need a partner and you can't find one. let me tell you about Shopify, because they are the built-in business partner, just like they are the built-in business partner for big brands like Heinz, Mattel, Gymshark, Magic Spoon. The list goes on. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses, and you can get started with your own design studio with hundreds of ready-to-use templates. Shopify will help you build a beautiful online store that matches your brand style, and it'll keep you nice and efficient. There are AI tools that can help you write product descriptions, headlines, and even enhance your product photography. On top of that, it'll give you a marketing team behind you to get the word out to people about your business, whether it's an email or a social media campaign. So what are you waiting for? Start your business today with the industry's best business partner, Shopify, and start hearing. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/Duke. Go to shopify.com/Duke. That's shopify.com/Duke. Well, let's talk about it a little bit deeper here. Let's get into the showcase bit by bit. Now, none of us predicted this one, but Gears of War E-Day opens up the show. I think we'll talk about Gears at the end, right? Because that's the big developer direct one. But let's talk about the message that was sent at the end of the first Gears trailer, which is here it comes, October 6th. But most importantly, console exclusive. And I just wanted to have a chat with you about that. Just, oh my God, he's got the light. There you go. There's your light for the show.
There's my light.
So you got console exclusivity for Gears of War E-Day in 2026. And you've got console exclusivity for Clockwork Revolution in 2027. Here's how I'm thinking about it. I'm curious if I feel like you and I are about to be on the same wavelength. I think of the big four, right? When they were moving multi-plat. These are the big two now who are moving the other way. Now, my question is really, what are these going to do? Because in one case, I think we have pretty good inside info that the Gears, funny enough, the second time this has happened to Gears, a PlayStation version gets shelved, right? It was weird, though, to see after that, here's Halo, PS logo. Here's State of Decay, PS logo. Here's Fable, PS logo. So that was the moment of like, it feels a little inconsistent. But they see something in these two games. One, an established Xbox franchise that didn't really make huge numbers on PlayStation, at least from our interpretation of it, thanks to the Alinea Analytics estimates. And then one's a brand new IP that looks fucking exquisite. But we kind of saw how, like, Starfield didn't seem to move the needle for the console sales, even though that was a big success. By the way, we're talking just at the launch of Starfield. I know from afterwards. Went its own direction. We know when we're talking about at launch, it was, top 10 selling game of 2023. So with that, Cog, what's your read of this console exclusivity move? Obviously, you and I are both like, okay, cool. They're competing. I put out a tweet. Cobra Commander responded. My tweet was just, I like to gauge everyone's thoughts online. For me, I like to see what the community's feeling. So I was just like, what are your thoughts today in regards to Xbox's recent moves with console exclusivity? I posted a picture of like 2026. Gears of War. Okay. Yeah. So I got a lot of interesting replies. A lot of people think it's short to midterm kind of optics. Like, this isn't going to grow the platform tremendously. They kind of know that, but it's going to look good for optics, and they can say they tried. But I find it hard to imagine that they'd flush these two down the drain. That's the thing that I fight with and it's the moral aspect of it. It's like, we haven't seen the Coalition since Gears 5. That was an Xbox One game. We have not seen In Exile since Wasteland 3. That was 2020. And I know how hard Fargo and that team are working on that game, dude. That's a long time coming. And Fargo's like tight with that leadership, dude. So I don't know. I'd be so hard pressed to believe that they're like, yeah, flush these two. It'll look good for our brand, and then we'll pivot out of it from there. What do you make of it? What do you make of this console exclusivity, the games they chose? Do you have a why in mind? And are these the big two, despite notable Xbox franchises like Halo, Fable, and State of Decay all going over?
That's the $1 million question. And that's what I was thinking. Because if you look at Gears E-Day objectively and you say, remember, Gears it's a suite. It's the single player campaign, right? Coalition's back. And let's be real, studios want to make money. right? We're in the business of studios wanting to put their games everywhere to maximize the most revenue, right? So you look at that, it has a campaign, but also theoretically, Gears is kind of live service, right? Even though I dragged the multiplayer, right? It's multiplayer, right? And when we saw this announcement, I believe 12-player Horde, but like Horde is my baby. I love Horde. I thought you would give me normal 5. God, I'm lit. They are now really, yes. So when you do that, and I look at, now that we know that information, right? That means they were sitting on this. We know this information. This is a game you could easily say it needs to be everywhere. If that is the theory, if we're still doing the multi-platform, we're trying to be the biggest publisher energy. To strip this game tells me 2 things. One, they view this as a core tenet franchise, right? Burger, fries, shake, all that stuff. Even though we're going to get into Halo, and I have my theories on that. You strip it in that, you're saying to your audience, this means this is an important franchise to this, to this brand. 2, to your point earlier, Gears Reloaded didn't do that well on PlayStation. So you could also look at it like, what was the cost? Was it worth it? Right? All the porting, all that. And we always talked about brand damage, right? That's another thing I look at it. And then now we fast forward to Clockwork, right? Oh my God, we're going to get into that game. Bro, that game looks different. And every time I see it, better and better. So this is a new flagship looking IP, NXL in the building, doing their thing, Fargo and the boys. Again, if you're in the business of making the most money, that game should theoretically be everywhere, right?
Yeah, it's been in development for a while.
Exactly. So this is what this tells me. They are willing to take short-term losses for long-term gain and investment. This tells me, and again, I think Booty just did an interview. I don't know if you caught it. Booty did an interview with 2 outlets, I believe. Oh, our boy got one. I ain't gonna blow him up, but look out for Jimmy and Ray, Xbox Ready. They got one.
Oh, really? Nice.
They got one with the Booty, and I believe Paris and Godfrey have one too. It's been quoted, I believe, if you pull it up right now, they got some of the bullet points from Hasbro, and basically it's saying, no, exclusivity is back. Yes, they're screaming, saying case by case basis on some things, and outside of live service, but they're literally like doubling down on it. So the way I look at it is, like this is a reinvestment in the platform on a bigger level than I thought, and we're gonna have to see how it plays out. Because to your point, yes, you hear case by case, you feel a little bit, but if I look at these 2 games, Maddie, you can make these games multi-plat. You literally can. So to me, it says, no, I have to read this, that we are investing in the console. The console is back to the forefront, something that I thought I'd never say in a world where Microsoft is the biggest publisher. I have to give them that. And again, this comes from Matt Booty. And now, if you looked at Asha Sharma's tweet, she's tweeting the exclusivity part. I look at it as, remember, this is the person that put in the player portal. What was the number one thing on the player portal? Exclusivity. Yeah. So she's taking that information, that user acquisition, platform satisfaction that she came from Instacart, Facebook Messenger, all that stuff. That's the energy I get. And it looks like, oh, you willing to take some L's on the business to actually reinvest. I don't want to get too crazy, but that's how I got to read it. What do you read it? What do you get from all this?
It depends. It's a little tough because I was looking up the Booty quote. I laughed a little bit because I type in Matt Booty on the search bar, and the top tweet's like, this dude's name Matt Booty, and it's like a viral tweet. I'm like people are still being introduced to this guy for the first time and just having this reaction to his name. Big multiplayer live service games will continue to be multi-platform. Exclusivity will be determined on a case-by-case basis. We're going to make the right decision, not the fast decision. As for current timed exclusives, it's about creating value around the console, is what they're saying. The case-by-case basis is the one thing that gives me a little bit of the worries, because that's what they said before. And I feel like if you remove that final bullet point about case-by-case, everything is clear now. While PlayStation has made an official statement, like it seems very understandable to us as players, like single player narrative games exclusive, multiplayer games, live service things everywhere. Cool, got it. That makes a lot of sense. But this case by case thing is tough for fans to kind of evaluate and understand, like what checks what box exactly. And I imagine it's because of things like Call of Duty. It's like, well, it has a single player campaign, but it also has multiplayer. Now it's got this whatever the fuck mode that they decide to end the show with, and they're like, yeah, like what pocket does that fill? What box does that check? So I get why they're not putting like strict guidelines like that out there, but that was like the one bullet point that messed with me just a little bit. But otherwise, like I like that they understand this is what's creating value around the box, because this is what we've been saying for a while, that, while I understood the multi-platform push, I didn't really like it. I thought it felt really weird. I get it, quote, made sense for their business and they made a lot of money, but the optical damage and also the lack of value around the actual box, like that needed to be fortified somehow. But I think the biggest tell is that these probably will be games that underperform. And if what Asha said with Bloomberg is going to stay true, like she mentioned how in that same interview, with Xbox Copilot for gaming, the reason she cut that is she said like our fans weren't excited for it, and I'd rather reinvest our resources into something else with AI. And when she was asked about like, what was Satya think about that? This guy's like fucking just championing the shit out of this. And she's like, well, it was an Xbox decision. And so I hope it's just not PR speak, because that sounds great. Because then it's like, okay, yeah, you guys are doing what's good for your brand, even if it's going, as you and I have said so many times, it's going to hurt for a while. These games are going to come out and they're not going to be played by tons of people. But one thing that I think offsets this a little bit is that Matt Booty said they're not giving platforms until they give a date. So having those two synchronized means you might avoid something like what's happening maybe with Halo, where it's like, well, like it was announced for PS5 without the date. I take that as, if you want to read deep into it, I could take that as, if I would like to, that they may have stripped that off of the platform if it wasn't already announced, and that they're fulfilling obligations. Again, that's me reading it, because I'm sure someone else could step in and be like, no, bro, Cope, it's timed exclusivity. They're appeasing fans. They're throwing two in the bin, and they're going to let it go until they have the data and be like, look, here you go. We're going to be transparent with you. These games flop. We're not going to do that to other creators. Case by case, no more. Multi-plat everywhere. We're here for the players. We're here for the fans of all platforms. I can see it going that way too. No doubt about it. But I do think the fact that this is beyond flirting now and it's actionable is significant, and it should be treated as such. So I think it's easy to get really skeptical. But I'm trying to learn to let that subside a bit, because I've been skeptical every step of the way. And like, sometimes that can cloud your vision a little bit. So I don't want to be too hard on it, but yeah, that's my ramble on console exclusivity.
No, it's fair. Like if you're on the opposite side and say, hey guys, it's the same old thing, I don't really see too much. I guess my answer is just that, again, you just don't have to do this. Like, because at the end of the day, what is your goal here? And I guess the difference is here. I'm hearing the word console consistently.
Yeah, true.
That's the difference. Before, it's the platform, the ecosystem, and that's great. Don't get me wrong. But it's one of those things that I'm like, when I'm hearing that shows me that, yeah, you're willing to take some L's sales-wise for the broad availability of these games, to now say this box means something. You sound like you had a follow-up for you.
I had a second question, but I wanted you to finish your thought. Sorry.
Yes, please. No, I was pretty much finished.
Okay, I was gonna say, what do you think this means for Helix then? Because right now we saw Asha in an interview with Stephen Totilo kind of flirt with the idea of like, well, I wasn't there for those talks when it came to like Epic Game Store, because he talked to Epic and Epic was like, yeah, as far as we know, it's still there unless they change their mind. And Asha's like, well, I don't know, I wasn't there for that. Right now, these games are coming out on Steam still. Like, you can get Clockwork on Steam, you can get Gears on Steam. Do you view this as console exclusive means Helix? Do you view this as a move toward the Microsoft Store holistically? So whether you're playing the console version or the PC version, it's on their storefront. Because the thing that made sense to me with PlayStation and why they're going to console exclusivity is they're like, Steam's eating our lunch right now, dude. Our most popular, our single player games aren't doing well long term with like the kind of I'm forgetting the word, but just like the shock and awe of like, oh, it's a PlayStation exclusive over here now. Like that kind of faded. and their multi-platform sort of live service games like Marathon or Helldivers are like massively dominated by Steam players. So Steam is taking a major cut of that each time a sale happens, and PlayStation's looking at it like, we're making high budget exclusives and just kind of giving this away. And in the case of Marathon, I think it might hurt a little bit more, where like Helldivers, just that user base is massive. But I thought PlayStation's move was partially to cut Steam out of the equation. So when I saw Xbox was still supporting Steam, I'm like, right now they're still involved. So what do you think this move means for Helix? That's the one other thing I was rattling my brain about. Like, what do you think this means for the storefronts on that box, combining like Asha's quote with the moves here today?
Oh, good point. And here's the thing, like from what I hear,
Uh-oh.
Is that Steve is still on the table as far as them not willing to kind of run away from that just yet. And it's so dominant a platform. And the key is
money's too nice.
This is why I give. The money's nice, man. And this is where I will give Corporate Command this in terms of like, I have to see how that part of the equation works in a world where Helix has a storefront, right? When you drop a game, will I be able to play the Steam version of Clockwork Revolution on the, you know what I mean? Like, will there be two versions available? Will you lock out that? Like, how does that play? Because at the end of the day, it's still a business. They're still getting a cut. And that's the fine line. I do not envy them. I don't know how that works out. But what I will say, I just want to double back on a point that I did remember now about exclusivity, is that this feels, I was going to be honest. Normally when you watch showcases, you're like, they've planned this 6 months ahead. You know, all this stuff was known. I don't get the sense, especially with the
last minute pivots for sure.
Yes, bro. I'm getting the sense, again, this is just cog speculating. Asha's a bit of a maverick. And Asha's a bit of, I'm ultimately going to make the last call decision despite what everyone thinks. And again, if it's about, everything has been for the most part pro user satisfaction, pro player feedback, right? Now again, can you run your entire business like that? No, I get it. For people who are like, hey, calm down. Well, listen, I get it to an extent, but we have to be honest. Player brand damage and player satisfaction was at its absolute lowest with the past regime. That is a fact. No matter how much I like whatever, that's how it ended. People had no confidence. This is the first time I am seeing people, we are heard, we are getting what we want, and we want to be competitive. We want to fight. We want to have an empathy for this product. And if it means taking 3 steps back to lose revenue short term, to then build something that could potentially resemble how it used to be, it appears, again, we still got it. We're still a ways away, right? It appears that these are the building blocks for investment, and that is encouraging. The last question I have to say, last thing I want to see is just that, to your point, down the road, Helix, and when it's your games and it's your decisions, again, these are not your games, respectfully. You know what I'm saying? But when it's you, how does that play out? These are the next level, but she's passing very early tests very strongly to come out on that stage and be the recipient and say, you're getting exclusive. Now, like one last point, because I don't ramble.
No, not at all. You're good.
Is where I do agree with you on the other point that you made is being in the room, being in the building, right? And then you see that we go, oh, the crowd is at peak. It's like the Matrix Zion scene. Oh, exclusive. People were like, all right. But I have to admit, it felt weird as hell subsequently watching the show and seeing PS5 logos and Nintendo Switch logos on the rest.
Yeah.
Right. So I get, and maybe it's a logistic thing. Maybe contractually you couldn't get it out. But I have to admit, it did feel weird after pumping your chest saying this and then seeing that. And you know,
it's like your most iconic franchises alongside it. It's like, I mean, Gears is one of those, don't get me wrong, but like Halo. Correct. Okay, Fable, then State of Decay. I'm like, these are all like back to back Xbox Studios exclusive or game reveals, and they all had like PS5. I'm like, yeah, like it definitely like hits that bump on the road. I think that's why they kind of put Clockwork at the end, because they wanted to sandwich it between like two exclusives and just kind of send a collective message. But yeah, it is in contrast to what Matt Booty said just on the podcast the week before this happened. He's like, yeah, no strategy updates. I'm like, dude, this was a massive fucking strategy update. Massive. You walked back on the thing that y'all swear you would never do again, to the damage of your brand, of course, but like the money was nice, or so we thought. Yeah. So good conversation there on console exclusivity. Cog, shall we talk about the games?
Let's get to these games.
All right. Like I said, we'll talk about Gears E-Day at the end. Let's start off with Fable. Fable shows up. It's coming out. I only have 2027 in my document. Hang on. I don't have the date memorized yet. Fable release date, professional podcasting, February 23rd, 2027. Everyone's coming out in February now, including Fable. And this game, man, this trailer, dude, I got to say, this one stung. This really hurt. Knowing this could have been out this year with that trailer, oh man. I just like, when you saw Jack of Blades at the end.
Bro.
I mean, that popped. I know, I could feel the pop around the world. That was like that was a great trailer. Like, I really like the gritty villain focus there. And then just, I'm in the process of saying that there's Jack of Blades. I'm like, no fucking way. Okay, so for those who have not played Fable at all, you got Fable 1, 2, 3. Each game has different antagonists. Fable 2 is the beloved one. You know, it's got a lot of life sim elements. That's really what like defined the franchise for people. It's also got a great story focusing on Teresa. It's like the ultimate Fable game. Now, there's a lot of people who are like me, and I think Addict's the same, to my understanding, where Fable 1 is the GOAT. Like, I love Fable 1. It's got the story that I think defines the franchise. And the main antagonist of that game is Jack of Blades. And I won't spoil for you all what happens there, but when you play that with the Lost Chapters, it is such a incredible story that gives you choice every step of the way. And it's the classic Fable, like good or evil. But I mean, you can straight up, like if you do an evil playthrough, which is what I did last time I played it, just kill everyone. It's amazing. It's amazing. But Jack of Blades is like one of the best written villains that I've personally experienced, but also from that series. Like, he is the best villain. They did such an amazing job. So to see him coming back, seeing the sword they're going after, see Haley Atwell in this, okay? To see this new villain in Isabel. Very, very interesting. It's really a perfect trailer. And the only twist is like, man, dude, it's why I'm on this fuck GTA wave, something fierce, bro. Because I'm looking at this game and I'm like, I could be playing this in 5 months, but because I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt because the game looked a little rough in some trailers, but because Grand Theft Auto had to move everyone up into 2 months, and then everyone doesn't acknowledge that January and March exist. Because of that, I gotta wait till the end of February to play this thing. Well, bro, I mean, that's a compliment. It's an amazing looking video game. And they're doing, at least as we're recording now, June 10th, they're doing another gameplay demo for it that they're going to reveal to everyone. So I can't wait to see that. But yeah, dude, this really got me over the hump a little bit. I'm still a little in my feelings on how they're handling morality. But
okay.
What an incredible trailer. What'd you think?
Bro, this was fantastic. The way it started off with this female interact, I didn't put it together at first. I didn't realize it was Fable at first. I was like, oh, this game looks great. What's this? And then as it went on, and I'm like, oh, no, this is Fable. Like, I got to shout out my brother, Lord Addict. So he's next to me. Trailer goes on. Because I psyched him out. Because I was like, oh, I don't think this is Fable. And he's like, wait a minute, no, this is Fable. This is Fable. I have not seen this boy close to grown-man tears before. he rarely shows emotion, right? Yeah. So when Addict is happy, like, you have to document this. Like, I'm talking about not just like elated, where like he can't stop talking. He was like, oh my, when they did the end of the trailer, remember, it was almost like a post-credit. I thought the trailer was done. And then you see Jack of Blades. Yeah. This man, the grown man tears, he's like, I don't care what the hell happens from this point on. It is a 10 out of 10 show. He said,
that was me with Last Ronin.
Yes.
Speaking of which, holy shit, dude.
Oh, LA, bro.
Yeah.
Bro. When Last Ronin came in, I could all I thought about was you.
Same for you. Yep. I was just like, I could not. We can talk about that after, but oh
Platinum,
my God.
the Kyle side, hopefully, Young Platinum, which I kind of spoke into existence, like if we wanted Platinum to do it, and then I saw Ninja Gaiden 4, and if it's that team, and then, I don't know if you caught, I know we going all over the place, but during the Last Ronin, did you catch the interpolation of the music of Ninja Turtles, but like a harder, grittier theme to it? I was like, oh, bro, dude, that was throw man tears for that. And Keeley did his thing. We got to give him his flowers. But 100%. This was the closest for Addict.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, they did it. And now we just try to figure out. What I can say is this is Playground's version of him. So we don't know where they're going to go, but just keep in mind, it might not be some canonically exactly how you guys.
Yeah, they're already resetting the timeline. This is a reboot,
okay. Just to be
it's their own thing.
Yeah, just to be clear. So that's all, I can allude to at this time. But yeah, man, like, bro, I let that place popped. And Addict led the charge. So I got to give my brother that one.
Yeah, sure. They did such a great job with the tone of it, because a lot of what they've shown has been, I think they read the room correctly. People were just on the edge. If they did one more goofy Office-inspired trailer, I personally am very interested in how the game's being shot, because I don't think we see it in video games. A lot of video games are shot in very similar ways, which is there's no style at all. It's just like characters talking. And they're usually like built into the gameplay and dialogue systems where it's just like, KOTOR, where it's like fixed cameras from like 4 different angles or something like that. So when they're like, yeah, we really like how The Office is shot and we want to like pull from that to add some comedy to it, I think we were like one more trailer of that away from people being like, this ain't Fable. And so I think it was an excellent read by them to just go ahead and say, okay, let's give them the other end of the spectrum, because number one, they get to show off the writing flexibility, which is, I think, really important in RPG. The quality of such, which I was very impressed. I have to say, I was very, very impressed. But also just like, I had a similar moment where I'm like, I'll put it this way, the only reason I had a confident feeling, oh, this is Fable, is it said Xbox Game Studios. And I'm like, who else is making this is an Elder Scrolls 6, I know that. I'm like, so who else is making a fantasy RPG? I'm like, this has to be Fable. But like, this looks like the best parts of Dark Fable, like when it gets to that real Dark shit Fable. With like Jack of Blades or like the raid on Oakvale, like that sort of stuff. Like that's when it's it's always excellent, but that's when it's like really at its best. And so this trailer captured that, and it showed that you're not just gonna be watching like Office parodies the whole time, but when they did do it, even during like you just burned this son of a bitch without even asking me a question, like that shit, I laughed at that audibly. I'm like, okay, I was like, okay, like I see the vision. I'm letting go a little bit of my stinkiness on the morality. But I wish this was coming out this year, man. It was a little, because what this showcase confirmed for me is, I'm like, as a big RPG guy, this has been an amazing year, but there hasn't been in my brain. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've got like that role playing game this year,
for the year, for 2020. For 2026. Like I know what you mean. Yeah. Like we missed it.
Like a Bethesda, like a, even turn-based, I'm trying to, I don't think I've played or beat anything like
RPG.
Yeah. Next year though, Fable, Clockwork, Exodus, Expanse, just to name 4 before I get a shadow drop of some kind, probably for Fallout 3 remaster, bro.
Yeah,
they're gonna make up for it next year. We'll be just fine, but this year I'll have to find my RPGs in my backlog. But yeah, I'm with you, bro. Fable looked amazing. Any other thoughts on it?
Nah, man, just fantastic. Playground, they just continue to amaze. And next year. And then I'll be honest, look, yes, am I disappointed that a little bit selfishly that we don't get it this year? Yeah, but I want that game to be saved. Let these dudes, they're cannibalizing each other in September, all these third-party games. Let Fable be able to shine on its own. I know February's starting to creep a little bit too with certain aspects, but I know February's looking like it. February's like the new November lately, right? Like the last 2 years almost.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I rather them there than to deal with GTA.
Sure.
And having a 2-month window and that game gonna get swallowed. Fable deserves a little bit better. So I'm willing to do this sacrifice, even though I want it so bad.
I'm still very skeptical. Like I get for a lot of games delay. I'm not saying Fable should go toe to toe, by the way, when I say any of this.
Yes,
I'm still very skeptical though. Like releasing in a crowded month is still releasing in a crowded month. Like February's got 4 big games right now.
Yeah.
Give us to this December. It'll be like 18. And it'll be all throughout like March and February. It'll be the same issue that like I think a game like Saros experienced, where it's like a lot of people reviewed it really well. People seem to love it, but like it just money was spent. Like no one had the time or the money, and that was it. Cool. So maybe going early in the first quarter of the year really is the great choice, you know, but we'll debate that come February.
No doubt.
Next trailer, Halo Campaign Evolve. The release date is official, Cog, July 28th. So next month, you and I will be playing some Halo. All right. I'll say it. Don't say I'm not fair, ladies and gentlemen. Don't ever say Maddie's like little bias gets in the way, his preconceived notions get in the way. Don't fucking say it, because when I see a good trailer, I know it. And this was a great one. Yeah, we got the flashing lights here. I really liked what I saw, bro. The space fights bringing me back to Halo Reach. I was like, okay, seeing all the new enemy types, new weapons. There was like one mission. It was like a very brightly lit, not tropical, but like a floral kind of
kind of Halo level.
Little too loud for me. I'm not gonna lie, a little too, you know, yeah. But otherwise, it was.
Like, I don't like that outfit Halo had on. It was too loud.
I totally jacked that word. Okay, so quick story. We're gonna divert for a moment on why that word entered my vocab at that specific moment. Yeah. I was wearing, so Vans likes to do partnerships with various brands. And I remember for my birthday, my then girlfriend, now wife, got me kind of as a joke, but also she knew like, I love this character. She got me SpongeBob Vans. And they were like the slip-ons one, and they're awesome. Right. Now, they probably don't go well with like high socks and shorts, which is what I was wearing, but I was just at the mall with my boys. Yeah, I know. I wasn't cooking, but I've been taking man at this point. I don't give a fuck. You know, so
you got your SpongeBob Vans.
Yeah. So I'm like walking around the mall, and my dude looks at my feet, and he's like, them shits are loud, bro. And I'm like, and like when he said that, I'm like, that's a great way to describe it. Like they're just they're bright, they're blue. I may as well have been wearing like pink Crocs out there, you know? So that's what that level of Halo Campaign Evolve reminded me of. But look, dude, I gotta be honest, this looked awesome. Looked like a really exciting addition to the otherwise interesting campaign. And so it takes some pressure off of, at least from my eye, like now seeing it, like, okay, it's not just about what do they change with the campaign. I mean, that's the majority of it. But it's also like, okay, I feel good about being fiercely protective of this because there's parts of this that look really interesting. The new Sergeant Johnson voice actor, I'd be curious to get Chris's thoughts on it, but I wasn't really feeling it. But otherwise, I thought it looked good. I thought this was a good trailer. Cog, love to hear your thoughts on this one, though.
Likewise, you hear the announcement for it. And look, we all, at least I felt the consensus coming into Halo Campaign Evolve was always kind of lukewarm. You're going to do it. We're going to play it. So what? Right? It's just, like, that's how I felt. Right. And the only thing that gave me a little bit of hope coming into it was, okay, we heard we were getting prequel missions. I got to admit, man, I really liked the way the game looked. I thought the game looked clean. I thought the space battles looked fantastic.
The cinematics look really good. There's parts in gameplay that looked a little too shiny, is how I'd describe it. A little too shiny. Otherwise,
I like the shiny on certain things.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong. Sorry, I'm just saying, like, from my eye.
Yeah, from your eye. Yeah, again, it's just a taste thing, right? So it's just like, it was just certain things. I just thought it looked clear. Remember, I played an early build of this game, and Maddie, I told you I was nervous. Yeah. It looked like that. Again, that's where game development. Sometimes things come together at the last minute. Man. Right, from an engine perspective. Again, we still got to play the game. We got to see the spirit of it. But I thought it looked good. I thought those prequel missions looked fantastic. I didn't mind where they were playing around with the brutes and the different designs and stuff of a modern Halo. It actually kind of worked for me, and I'm like, bro, I'm kind of excited to play this. Now I'm with you though. I don't know how I felt about that Sergeant. It felt a little too light for me.
Yeah.
I didn't think I feel heavy enough. I didn't feel like it was tough. Not that it was soft, but we know Sergeant Johnson. And again, this is a ray gun. We got to bring him in maybe around that release and see how he feels about it, because there is levels to the Sergeant Johnson thing. But I thought that, the Halo armor looked really good. Like, I just thought it looked good, man. I was excited about it. I was like, look, you know what? I'm actually looking forward to playing this thing and see
100%.
where they go with it.
Yeah. 100%. Any other thoughts on Halo? All right. Let's kick this off with a little Plague Tale resonance next here, Cog. Oh, that reaction. Let's hear from you first.
Bro, King's on my left. We watching, and they're like, Plague Tale. I'm like, this looks, bro, this is so action heavy. That old girl with the double sword style, and bro, the stabbing up and the brutality. Bro, I'm like, what is this? And then I started to see the decay and the deformity, and I'm like, there it is. I'm like, okay, bro, this showed out. I didn't get to, again, you're getting me live reaction posts. I have not been able to do any research on like the set pieces, the narrative, where they're going from it. I can just remember
it's a
what
prequel.
my trailer.
That's mainly.
Prequel.
Yeah.
That's what okay, that's what we know so far.
Yeah.
And bro, I thought this showed so well. And I'm not used to a Sobo because we're so used to Plague Tale. We love it being the stealth-oriented, you're weak, don't get caught. This wasn't that. This was, we're getting to it. And I'm like, okay. And that edge, those edges look good. But how did you feel? You're a huge Plague Tale.
Oh, dude, this looks... It never gets old knowing this is the same team. Like when I say same team, it's the same thing we say about Playground, where it's like not the exact same team, but the same development house that brings us like a flight simulator. Is like, yeah, let's just fucking cook this like incredible character driven narrative game. I mean, look, yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I love Plague Tale Requiem and Innocence because of kind of the vulnerability you experience in those games, how well it connects to the narrative, and obviously how unique it is. Like standing in the light is a form of stealth gameplay because being in the dark is where the rats are and they'll kill you. So it's like awesome to knock a torch out of someone's hands and watch the rats go after them. And like that's part of a otherwise broader puzzle. It challenges your brain in really interesting ways from how you typically play games. This looks like more of a straight up action video game. But the combat and sort of the visceral, I mean, at first I'm like, oh, they did action combat, but immediately I'm seeing like 1, 2, I'm like, oh, finisher move, 3, 4, 5. Like she just stabs the fuck out of this guy. I'm like, oh, there's like a anger to it. And then she's like moving, kicks a dude, he hits up against the wall. I'm like, okay, like the environment's getting involved a bit. She like switches over to someone, counters them, switches back. Like, okay, not like free flow, but like, okay, we're seeing some movement here. Not what I expected at all, but I already know they're going to deliver what I imagine will be an incredible story. And now we've got more traditional combat. I'm just curious to see, like, does this evolve at all? Like, what are the mechanics here? How does it feel? Like, what drove them in this direction? It's a game I want to read up a little bit more on, but this is coming August 27th as well. It's very soon. Very soon. So
out of nowhere,
yeah, that late August into September, dude. I mean, there's so much heat there, but this game looks incredible. I cannot wait. I mean, it's also built off pedigree. Again, just knowing how those past 2 Plague Tale games have been. Like Innocence was really great, very foundational. Requiem's like, all right, taking the gloves off. We're coming for The Last of Us. And I say that with adoration, by the way. I love The Last of Us 1. I'm not as big of a fan of Last of Us 2, and I'm not saying that they're literal Naughty Dog, but they're clearly inspired by what The Last of Us did, and I think there are some who have gotten the closest with that feeling. Amicia and Hugo's story in Requiem is incredible. Must experience, in my opinion. It really gave me those same feelings that The Last of Us 1 did, and I hold that game in very high regard. But Plague Tale Resonance, if it gets even halfway as close, we're going to be in a good spot here. So very, very keen to see also where this story goes, because I imagine it's like, is there going to be more Plague Tale after this? Like, I just love that they're doing more with this. So just awesome stuff. Awesome showing.
Shout out to Asobo.
Next up here. I mean, this is just the beginning of the show. Just bang, bang, bang. Persona 4 Revival enters the February fray. February 18th, 2027 is where you can get your hands on the remake of one of the best JRPGs of all time. Oh man, I got a lot of thoughts on this one. Good, and I mean mostly good.
Okay, I need to hear this. I need to hear from the hardcore. I need you. This is your segment.
Yeah.
I'm look. I looking at it. He's like, oh, I like this. I like that. I like this. You know, but I
hang on.
need
As a
to hear
metaphor fan, are you kind of flirting with the idea of this, or is this too like us high schoolers? Like, I'm not really in.
It is high school, and you know, I'm a metaphor fan, but I like the art style from the main protagonist and what they were doing, and it looked flashy enough. So I will give you this. This didn't immediately like put my nose up. I was like, no, this actually looks kind of cool. But again, you've got to tell me, did they hit the sensibilities? You got to tell me, as a person who's played the original, like, how are you feeling? Did they nail it? Are they doing too much? Are they diverting? Like, where are you at?
It's a nuanced conversation. For the most part, yes. If Persona 3 Reload was anything to go by, I think they're going to do a great job with this. However, one of the things that's biting Persona in the ass a little bit is they are really good at discovering talent. That talent then blows up. What am I talking about? Well, 3 of the main voices for this game, Troy Baker. Yeah, Troy Baker, Yuri Lowenthal, Sam Riegel, Johnny Young Bosch is another. I mean, these are like the dudes of the industry, right? Now, I think if you're going to go hard for any remake in this franchise and get those guys back, this would be the one. That said, I can only imagine what Troy Baker's rate is for voicing a 80 to 90 hour game. Also, that said, PlaySide did manage to front the bill to get him into Mouse PI for hire. So, you know, is Troy really as expensive as we speculate? But you have to imagine him plus Yuri, who voiced Spider-Man and Sasuke Uchiha and just all these legendary characters. Okay, throw him in the mix. And Sam Riegel, who's in like everything. And Laura Bailey, who's in everything. Dude, it's an unfucking believable cast. That is why Persona 4 is so great. I heard Johnny Young Bosch's voice. I have not read the cast yet, but I know I know these voices. We all do. Most of that cast is gone now. And that does, like, when you hear Yosuke and it's not Yuri, it does take a little something away. Because, like, that one thing that Persona 4 does, it's humorous, dude. It's so funny. Sometimes in a way that I think I could see phase 2 of this conversation being what they've removed, because there have been like fat jokes, gay jokes, like jokes that you could make in 2008 that like nowadays people are like, bring it back. But like a lot of other companies are like, are we sure about that, guys? Like, are we sure we want to do that? I feel that. You know, so I'm curious what they do with characters like Yosuke, who were always on the, I mean, he's a straight up dude bro character. And I love him for that. Like Yosuke is one of my favorite characters. So anyway, what I'm saying is between the writing and the performance, that's a huge part of why we love Persona 4. So different voice performers, we'll kind of evaluate as we go along there. Visuals, character models look excellent. A lot of the levels look really great, but there's parts that like people are putting side by sides of 4 Golden, which is a PS Vita remaster. Now it's obviously been ported to PC and everywhere else, but we are talking about a game that did not, traditionally speaking, look great. It was a PS2 game at first that got remastered and then ported. People were lining it up side by side and they were giving the buff over to 4 Golden, you know, from it's a style. It's more of a color thing, I think. It's color and lighting, which I think are things that they can adjust to tell you the truth. Because people were looking at like the main street in Inaba and thinking to themselves like, or based on what I was reading, I should say, not thinking, they were kind of like, oh, it's like too blue. Where Persona 4 Golden is very, I mean, golden, like yellow is the predominant color theme there. But I think people are looking at one screenshot a little too hard. That's why it kind of verdicts out on some of this stuff, is what I'm trying to say. Because there were shots where like Yuna Arakami, it's a 1 second shot in the trailer, but he's walking in the floodway and it's raining and it's a very gray look. There's a point where he's like on top of the school and it's kind of like a sunset. It is a beautiful game. And I think what people need to look at it from the angle of is here's your deep cut cog, and you won't care about this at all. You have to watch it through, I think, through the angle of the anime. The Persona 4 animation is hilarious. But that was more of a vibrant visual take on it, like very, very bright, happy colors. And I mean, Persona 4 is a game that'll fucking stomp out your depression straight up. It did it to me in 2017. I'm not even exaggerating. Like it just straight up cured my depression. Like that's why people like when a new Persona is announced, like there's like pictures people post like suicide delayed. Like, oh
hey, yo, it got that effect, bro.
But it really is a powerful game. So that's to bring it all full circle, is that this is a game that like it saved my life in a lot of ways. And I'm forever thankful to it for that. It's a game that brings me so much joy. I literally have a video it's got very little views, but I made a whole video just talking about like, a game that brings you joy. And like, I talk about Persona 4 in that and just how special it is. So I think for the homies out there who are struggling, or if they remember what I'm saying here and they end up struggling, this is the game you got to go to. It will make you feel something. It highlights its quote power of friendship and the way people make fun of things. Like it's the story of the power of friendship, but it's like really well written power of friendship. Like it's what bonds do for you, which is what Persona is all about. But this game gets it, I think, the most above them all. And you know how I love Persona 5. So yeah, dude, this game, combat wise, animations, menus. I mean, they're gonna cook with this stuff.
It looks stylish. Yeah,
it looks really good. The stage actions look awesome, although I think I saw the prerequisites to do the stage actions and how you can like go spend like turn after turn, no skill points spent, no damage taken. It's like Persona's already veering into this kind of like it's easier. And now it's like 5-year-old really ramped that up where people are like, this is a little too easy. And then like it's been getting easier and easier. So we'll be interested to see what 6 does, as we'll talk about in a little bit. But that's my ramble on 4. I think it looks excellent. The fact that it's releasing a fucking week away from Fable kills my soul a little bit. I'm just like, I mean, that's like, it doesn't get more difficult than that, especially you and I like to review games, Cog, and you don't know. I'm not complaining, by the way. When anyone hears this, I'm not complaining, but like, they can just drop in your lap whenever. So if I'm like getting ready to review both, like, that's going to be a war. That's going to be a war for myself. And those are not going to be short games. So I don't know, bro, but, I'm very happy nonetheless. I cannot wait for this game. Do you have any thoughts on it though? I've been going.
No, I don't got too much to add. This is really your segment. And I just, like I said, I thought it looked stylish. I know people were waiting for a long time. I was more excited about the subsequent things that Atlas are doing. And that's what I was at. I felt that
was it because of a certain co-host of yours by chance?
I mean, there's a certain co-host of mine whose his knees are in jeopardy. And I've just been waiting. What's funny is I spoke it into existence, and for me, I was so pleasantly happy to see your game. Because
you know what's funny? I'm sitting at my computer. I'm waiting for a video to render, and I see like a video on my rec. So I had a video up, and then in the corner, I see Iron Lords podcast. It says like the Iron Lords are like at FanFest. I'm like, let me see what Cog's up to, and I click. You and Sav are talking about Persona, and you're like, oh, there's something like a little 6 or something like that. Like you're egging this dude on, bro, and you're like basically saying like it's gonna happen, bro. And I'm like, oh, Cog like kind of like had the moment before it actually happened.
Bro, I felt it because it was like, and then we heard rumors of snitching, and we like, oh, maybe, right, kind of thing. So I knew if I saw your game, I knew my chances of seeing what I wanted to see was going to escalate. So I'm smiling from ear to ear. It's just a matter of were they going to do it right after? And then when I didn't see, I will say this, when I didn't see what I wanted to see, I said, oh no, he may live. And then we will get into what we will get into.
Well, after this, Cog, let's have you take this one away. State of Decay 3 makes an appearance. You predicted this one, if I remember correctly. And this arrives 2027. So likely a developer direct title to top of next year, you'd have to imagine. Oh, what a trailer, dude. But take it away. What are your thoughts?
Bro, blown away. For me, I am a State of Decay guy. I thought the tone, the visceral nature of the Horde looked way better. First of all, the engine looked fantastic. The speed and the animation of the running of the characters. Then seeing 3 survivors, walking together, scouting, doing their little breach and clear stuff. What I liked, even the way the trailer started, if I remembered, it was kind of like a makeshift radio kind of lure device. And if I
Mm,
remember from the developers, the way they describe this State of Decay is the world has been already pretty much scavenged. And now you got to get creative with gadgets and things
yeah.
like that. I like this energy, but I'll be honest, like I hadn't seen State of Decay. State of Decay never was like a looker to me. You play
Mm,
State of Decay because you like the systems, you like survival horror in the sense of base building, permadeath. That's what you play State. This, I'm like, yo, this game, look at me. I kept bumping at it, like, yo, you see how this joint look? Bro, like, I ain't gonna front. If Undead Labs pulls this off, I gotta eat my sled. Like just like we were doing full admissions
you and
and
I
full
were like
circles.
telepathically connected. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, I said on my stream, I was like, I'm not gonna say it was worth the wait, but I can't say it yet.
Bro,
But if they deliver, I
I've
mean, oh,
say, bro, I have slandered Undead. I said, how come nobody ain't giving them no smoke? Where they at? What's going on? We don't hear nothing. You know what I'm saying? Then they started off, all right, the deer's not in the game. Like, oh my God. Like it's
yeah,
one
yeah,
thing after another. And then we know, from a director standpoint and an internal creative standpoint, they've had so much turnover. If they're able to pull this off, and again, from what I said, again, I got to shout out the homie because he's the one that relayed confidence back into me. It's Sunny Games, and
yeah. Great
these
interview.
guys, people have been playing these builds. People have been playing these builds for a
Yeah,
while, and
yeah.
the consensus has been, guys, it's great. We can't wait to talk some more. And now when I seen this, it just looks phenomenal. The only worry, I wouldn't say even worry, but nitpick is how much did they improve the base building? Is it deeper? Because
Mm,
before, you had locales that you would try to commandeer and make a good base out of it. How much is that in it? How many other new mechanics? I would love to see. One thing that I've always, talked about is like the human element in State of Decay. Because State of Decay to me is Walking Dead the game. If like in my opinion, right?
mm,
If you was to make a community, like I would love to see them lean into that kind of stuff. Do they have a couple of new tricks and new nuances to really take it to the next level? But I like
mm.
the tone, I like the engine. I'm super pumped. Like this game has me excited again. And yeah, I have to give it to if they pull this off, I bend the knee. It would be my grounded moment in a way. Like I was very slanderous, you know what I'm saying, kind of thing.
Mm.
But like, yeah, this would be amazing. But what did you feel kind of watching this thing?
Oh, dude. I fucking love this trailer. This is like a top. This is like a top 3, top 5er. Like, I mean, I was like, okay, I see. What I loved is I see State of Decay right there in front of me. I know from playing 1 and 2 a shit ton. Like, this is the State of Decay I know and love. It's got a touch of that. When I say jank, I don't say it insultingly. It's got a touch of it though, but it's like I'm getting Left 4 Dead vibes here. Like the intensity, the grit, the seriousness of it was always there, but this is like on a different level. And like there's like 50 of them throwing themselves at you, and you see like the shot of someone shooting from above, throwing Molotovs as someone like jumps over this like a pile of acid, and as someone's like taking
Yes.
another shot, I'm like, okay, this is way more like a coordinated attack on something rather than like in State of Decay 2, you show up like, oh, it's a big heart. You melee some things, you hold X, you destroy it. It's fine because again, a lot of that game is built on like those moments that people look at and go, oh, that's shit. Well, it's like you're so attached to your character and you know if you fuck up and you die, like you lose everything. But now they're doing it backed by like incredible looking gameplay, co-op driven. And the reason I'm not freaking out yet about no like base building is number one, that community has been gassing this up. Now officially looks like they have been speaking the truth, but also they spoke to how like they'll attack your base. And my guess is we'll see that probably at, I would think, Developer Direct. A
Mm.
really extended look of sort of the base building, going out into the world, what happens there. Like this game I mean, a lot of people are going to unfortunately look at this game who don't know the history of State of Decay and go, oh, zombie game, whatever. But for those who have played and know, like I remember buying the first one on Xbox Live Arcade 360 and being like, yo, this is like, I can't believe this was $20. This was so fucking good.
So
Those
good.
who play and know what this series is capable of and how the long-term support it's capable of too is like, oh, good times are ahead. This looks really, really solid. So yeah, really pumped after this trailer. Really, really pumped. I thought it looked great.
Likewise. Hell yeah.
Mayor Ben Smith, are you there? We've got a Sea of Thieves season for you. Custom Seas has arrived to Sea of Thieves, basically Forge mode for pirates out there. Cog, any thoughts on this one?
Look.
This dude said, look. He settled it. Every excited pirate out there is like, he's gonna, look, hand on the shoulder. Look, pal.
I may have been slanderous before the show saying that I don't want to see Sea of Thieves. I may have been slanderous. It's one of those things, in fairness to the Sea of Thieves community, man. Ben, I want to shout out to my boy Captain Logan of the Expansion Pass, one half the Expansion Pass podcast, so my boy Incepted Ghost. He's a huge Sea of Thieves fan. Prior to the show, I did ask, I said, look, I'm very slanderous, but I'm not informed enough in the community to be making these bold claims against your game. Please tell me, as a person who is entrenched, how are you feeling? And his thoughts were like, hey, the community is kind of upset because they want, new content. They didn't really like the direction. And then he was hearing kind of rumblings of where they may go. And now it seems like a sandboxy kind of create your own seas kind of thing. And I was like, okay, so would the community be satiated by this? Or do they want to, throw that number 2 on it and stuff like that? And I think they kind of like the seasonal model. You know what I mean? I remember when they had the
if it's not broken, don't fix it, That's
right. So again, that's one fan's perspective. I do need to speak to the mayor.
One more fan that I know.
One more fan is playing the game that I know. Bro, respect, I gotta be
I don't boot up my friends list and see anyone on it. I don't know where they're all coming from.
I don't see what I know back in the day.
I don't know.
Exactly. They was popping off in the beginning, the millions playing for sure. But to me, there's been a lull. And I was wondering what they were going to do. So the key is this going to be enough? I don't know. Me personally, I either want to see a 2 on it or I want to see Rare do another IP in conjunction with it. So I don't want to say this was my bathroom break, but they're clowning me. Like during the showcase, people are like Attic and King is like, oh, look at King, look at the disgusting Cog's face right now. Because again, it's just that unless the community tells me, and this is Sea of Thieves bros, were you happy with this? I need to know. That because I was just like, okay, you're still going. Okay, there's a pulse. Okay. I don't know if this is going to bring it back, and I'm just curious if people that's where I'm at. But literally, I was like, okay, what's the next game? Because I knew I was going to see it. I just didn't want to see it.
Yeah, look, dude, when I was on stream, I saw this thing and I looked at the camera and I said, we were having a little too much fun there anyway. Like, it's fine, I was like, look, dude, we just went from Gears, Fable, Halo, Plague Tale, Persona, State of Decay. We had to settle down a little bit. It was a little too up, like this is the balancing force of the world. Some guy out there is hyped for this and like that's good for them. And like, we'll be back. And hey, dude, after this, we were back. Metro 2039 is the next game on the list, Cog. We got the big random kind of, I'm still scratching my head a little bit like I'm happy it's just a thing that exists, but like sort of the way this was revealed in the first place was like, Xbox was presenting it, but it wasn't like on a showcase stage. It was just, but it's also not exclusive. It's just Xbox is presenting the first look at Metro 2039. And I the only theory I've got is that they were very supportive of Stalker 2, which is another Ukrainian team. And I wonder if that like brought 4A games into the fold as well, which if so, kudos to Xbox. But nonetheless, Metro 2039, we're so back. I mean, we were never away. Exodus was fine, but like, this is classic fucking Metro with a chip on their shoulder, no doubt, as they've talked about in the post-reveal interviews. But I don't know if have you played Metro at all?
I've dabbled, but I can't say I'm like this hardcore Metro player like that. But I've dabbled.
Does this make you interested? What you saw?
Yes, it did look really, really good. And again, I just want to ask you a question though. Like, how are we feeling about, like you just alluded to, this kind of like single player reveal? I mean, single player, but solo showcase reveal of a title.
Yeah,
and then see it again showcase. I don't know. I'm conflicted.
Yeah, a lot of what hurt this showcase was seeing a lot of these things already. And, and it wasn't like we were increasing visibility. Like Gears was like, we know a cinematic trailer, an idea of it. We've read the interviews and then we saw it and we're like, okay, questions answered. State of Decay fit that mold, but Fable didn't, Plague Tale didn't, Halo doesn't, Persona 4 doesn't. There's a lot of that. Metro was another one. And yeah, I imagine what I'm thinking is happening here is these companies are wisening up on how they're doing their messaging. I think it would have overtaken a bit of State of Decay 3 if they did the whole we're in alpha still. And also we're doing play tests and all this stuff about like the deer, like that might have taken the headlines over what is now a really great moment for them. I wonder if with Metro, it's a like, hey, let's establish this because they talked very politically. And they're like, hey, it's going to make noise. Like politics is never fun in social spaces. But we're going to make our intent with this clear and open up the runway. So next you see us, it's gameplay. I think it's good for the devs. I don't think it's the end of the world for us because with Metro, it's like I knew the idea of the game, but we hadn't seen any gameplay. But this is actually one of the few games that we've seen so far that's blinked. This was supposed to be coming out end of this year, and then they delayed to February next year, which makes sense because again, this is a busy time coming this fall / holiday season. Yeah. But as for Metro, as like a person who has played all these games and loves them, this is classic Metro in its best. It is, the Metro tunnels that create that claustrophobia and that very light horror, not pure horror, but that tension, that unease, that attention to detail that the 4A Games engine is just so capable of. This game looks, there was that one shot when it switched to gameplay where he's out in the pouring rain, like flips on the light with the gun in his hand. I'm like, okay, they're not fucking around here. But then it's got that last light energy. So all of these games involve you going to the surface. Exodus really, I think, pulled, in my opinion, I don't know if people agree with this or not, but it pulled a lot from Far Cry, in my humble opinion. So it kind of was almost too open. And the game was at its best for a lot of people. Like I watched a few like critiques of it after 2039 got revealed. And a lot of people were like, yeah, like when you're in the tunnels or when you're in the buildings, when you're doing something that's like, it's tight in, the game's just at home. And when you're up above the surface, it's a little too loosey goose. You're always managing resources. There's factions harassing you. It wasn't really well balanced because they'd attack you and it's not like you'd get a reward out of it. So I thought Exodus was a little too open and it felt like now they're constricting it again. And Last Light, I think, did that best. Granted, it was a 360 game, so maybe it had to do it that way. But Last Light had you like hitting the surface. It was like psychological. It was trippy. It was scary where you were in the tunnels. You were fighting monsters on the surface. But it was also just narrow enough where as you're going through buildings and finding like dead bodies and stuff, like there was emotion, there was impact. Like they did, I think, a really spectacular job. That's my personal favorite in the series. This trailer had a lot of that written all over it. Like that type of honed focus where, you saw some open areas, but nothing like Exodus where you stood up and it made sense for Artyom's story. But with the Hunter now, it's a little bit different. But like, again, Exodus cracked it wide open by comparison. So this looked a lot more measured and I can't wait. I thought it looked really, really good. Same. Next up here, Bad Magpie. First indie game to show up. I had to look up the Steam description for this because I can't lie, the trailer didn't explain it too well, but what it's actually described as, I think sounds more interesting than what you saw. For those who don't remember, this is like the indie game. It's from developer Milktooth, and it had a more kind of pastel art style, very soft. And they say Bad Magpie is a narrative adventure game about a magpie with one wing, a fixation on shiny things, and no interest in connecting the two dots. They say explore a small, densely packed, non-linear open world full of things to peck, steal, combine, and meddle with. Bad Magpie runs on a delightfully elastic cartoon logic. Screech into a megaphone to shatter glass. Peck flint to spark fires. Drop an apple in oil and see what happens. Tear through the world in a fury or carefully sweep every corner, leaving no stone unpacked. There's no dialogue, no text, and no cutscenes. Just a world that rewards anyone curious enough to mess with it. Every puzzle has multiple solutions. Most of them are intentional. I don't know. When I read that description versus what I saw, it made a lot more sense reading that. Where I was like, oh, I went from like, I don't give a fuck about this to like, oh, this actually looks pretty cool. I don't know if it's like must play, like, oh, must buy, but way better than I thought it was. Now understanding it, this is coming out 2027. Cog, do you have any extended thoughts on Bad Magpie?
I think me and King called this game like the bird with evil intentions, or like the bird with an attitude. It was burning up flowers, and the flowers were crying. And I'm like, what is going on with this game? It was. It also gave me a little Untitled Goose Game energy for some weird reason as well. Art style was cool. Look, it's one of those weird games that I'm like, if you try it, I have a funny feeling I may end up enjoying it because it's just so out there. But yeah, it actually did win me over after that first rolling my eyes. But I was like, nah, this is a little mischievous, bird. I got to see what's going on over here.
I agree. Here was a big surprise. Team Ninja shows up, and they got a reveal for us coming early 2027. I can't lie. I thought it was like Neo again. I was like, no, Neo just came out. I was like, Neo DLC. I was going through my brain. I'm like, Neo, is it on Xbox? I think so. Long 2. Wings of Ember. I didn't think this game would get a sequel. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the only thing that gave it away that it was long was the way deflections were working, but it was happening in midair. This company is very underrated, dude. The way they just fire on all cylinders, the things they're involved in. Like, we've seen them in the last since October of last year in Ninja Gaiden 4, in Neo 3. Now they're announcing Wolong 2 coming top of next year. Like, they're going, dude. They're going and going. And I'm very excited for this because for those who like Sekiro, Wolong is basically that, but with RPG mechanics. So it's kind of got a little bit of that loot-driven nature that Neo had. So I'm very big on this one. Very excited for it. But Cog, what are your thoughts on Wolong 2 Wings of Ember?
Very solid. Very solid. Again, pleasant surprise. Didn't expect to see Wolong, you know what I mean? And to be back. And I didn't know how it did. That's another thing I was concerned. I remember they initially had got the Game Pass bag, if I recall, with the first one. And just wasn't sure. But yeah, man, parrying, all that good stuff. I thought it looked good. I thought it was we still needed some more details, but I thought from what I saw looked solid. And yeah, that team generally cooks. So I'm not too worried about it. I just want to see from the masses, can they hit, that milestone where they get received, but they get a second chance. So that's a good sign.
Absolutely. I'm trying to see here. It's coming to Game Pass day 1.
Oh, again, they got it again.
Yeah,
they
got it again. I was just double checking it. Yep.
That would make things easier.
There were some really surprising Game Pass additions for this show.
We will talk about that.
There's one in particular that I was like, they did that. I know we're both talking about the same one right now. Yeah, I'm like, they really did. I was like, really? I was so convinced they were not going to.
Same.
Next up here, another indie, or at least indie-looking title. Join us. You start your own Doomsday Cult in this one. It's 1 to 4 player co-op. It's a very ridiculous-looking game coming March next year. Cog, I'm curious if you have any thoughts on a game about starting cults, kind of like Cult of the Lamb, but this is like a 3D kind of action game, and there's some real ridiculousness in it. It looks like dumb fun in the best way.
Engine a little clunky, but sure. I love the concept. First of all, it has the best name. Join us. That is what you hear from the most ridiculous cult and group. I think it's just the funniest. There's 2 sayings in like movie and game history. Join us. Or seize him. When I hear those 2, I just immediately start laughing. Yeah, when you hear someone say seize him or join us, like they just seem so fanatical, so ridiculous. The idea sounds dope. And stay tuned for the Lords. We may have some additional coverage on that coming soon. But nice. I like conceptually where it is. I just want to see from the trailer, just clean up the engine just a little bit. I can feel a little engine cleanup a little bit.
Yeah, they got 9 months. I think they'll be
yeah. Yeah. That's a smooth that bad boy out. I think there's some stuff there. But yeah, I like the potential.
This next one, would you say, before I announce it to our audience, surprise of the show? Senua.
I don't have.
You don't have the. Yes. Oh, my bad. You have the.
I'm freestyle. I'm off the top. I'm in the dark room.
Would you say Senua was surprise of the show? Like, as in it exists and it's coming next year?
Bro, you nailed it. Like, if you would have put a good. Remember, we did this, and we went through every studio me and you ran. We're like,
Ninja Theory, how that? Yeah,
no. They're done. Like it's like tennis. You did your turn. Your turn's over. There's no return, so we're not going to see you for a while. I'm like, is that Senua?
Yeah.
Now I'm hearing things.
You're hearing things.
I'm hearing things, Maddie. I'm hearing things.
Okay.
I'm hearing the Gene Park and Mr. Matty Plays contingent was heard loud and clear. And my little rebellious part 2 self, even though I'll admit, part 1, yes, superior game, over, yes. I still like my 2. I still like it for my reasons. However, to your points, it was less of a game. That is a fair criticism with combat. I am hearing that this is for y'all. I am hearing we're getting back to the essence of the combat and action and fighting and doing the things that people liked Hellblade 1 for. Loud and clear. The other thing that surprised me is how long did they have this in the tuck? Did they go right back? Like, I need to know the development timeline on this and then where it fits in the Pantheon. But it looked good. At first, I was worried for you guys that it would just be more Hellblade 2 style stuff. But as it went on, I've seen a little bit more variance. And from what I am hearing, there is a return to form energy coming out of Ninja Theory that it needs to be like one. I am just so happy that they are making something because I thought their turn was over. And outside of their motion caption prowess as a studio, as a support for the rest of the studio's family, I was worried that series was going to be on ice. We didn't know nothing about Project Mara. I was very concerned about this.
Oh, it might still kind of be. I mean, they're calling it Senua. They're not calling it Hellblade, so there is that.
Which is interesting. But the fact they get to go again, bro, big deal. So I'm pulling for them, and I hope, like I said, Gene and you get exactly what the rumblings in the street are.
Oh, dude, look. I made it very loud and clear on stream. I'm in my head, I'm like, I want every Ninja Theory employee who crawls by my measly little channel, stream, video breakdown. I want them to know I'm very fucking grateful. Literally my reaction on stream was just, oh yeah. I was in a position of power. I'm like, oh, you fucking listened. You listened so good, bro. Like, I could not be more thrilled with the effort here. Like, they straight up were like, okay. You want combat, bitch? Like, all right, here we go. Like, she's got multiple weapons. We're gonna have her throwing weapons. Like, yeah, she's a action movie star now. What up? This is what I expected from Hellblade 2, ladies and gentlemen. When you asked me, hey, what you want anyway, bro? You just fucking saw it Sunday afternoon. You saw it loud and clear what your boy wanted. It looks like the same amazing Hellblade that I knew and loved from the first game. I'm interested in where Senua was going, what she's going through. I heard the whispers. I saw her sinking into her own craziness. Like, I saw it all. But guess what I also saw? Some nice combat, some nice environments. Wasn't the whole show. And I'm guessing the way they did this is they took all the pieces that existed from Hellblade 2 and said, hey, we spent a long time on all of that. Let's take those existing pieces and make a game out of it. You know, not like these are just Lego blocks sitting around, but they might kind of be. I don't know how they built their systems, but my guess is that is why we are getting this so fast. They're like, we have everything here. The only thing they got to pass, the only thing, I want a little more time with this one. I don't want to have another Here Comes Senua for a little 3-hour special.
I
want a little more. I want a little more game. Just a little bit more, you know.
Well, that's fair.
You know, I'm glad they're going for combat. They already got my grace for that. Now I'm feeling a little greedy. I'm like, all right, what's the progression? Is it just hardcore weapons? I don't think they do progression, but I'm just flirting with this. I'm like, okay, you guys have done this before. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what are you guys thinking? Progression? How many levels are we looking at here? Like, how much of a video game is this versus an experience? So, look, man, looking at it right now, this is excellent. I mean, what a pleasant surprise. Did not have them on my bingo card. I don't think many of us did. Like, oh yeah, Senua, Hellblade will be what? I just don't know how you could ever predict this one unless you had inside knowledge on like a deep level.
Yes.
Just because they took so long for everything they did. And I guess, well, I should say that I should correct myself a little bit. According to the information we know, after Xbox bought them, they started Hellblade 2, I think in 2021 was what I remember reading. I want to say from Jez. If that is the case, a 3-year timeline would make sense for them. And this is like right on track. But because we all, myself included, forget about Bleeding Edge, there was COVID. That delayed them a little bit. There was the whole, oh, this is the game we revealed alongside our console, the optics of that. There's a lot in that sauce there that kind of prolonged the anticipation of it. Where, I mean, for me, once I got Hellblade 2, I was like, okay, you guys can go like chill for a while now. We'll see where we end up here. I'm glad y'all are back. I'm glad y'all are back. I'm going to be loud and proud about that one. I might dial back my whole Naughty Dog comparisons a little bit because that really fucked me up last time. So I'm not going to do that. Like, oh, this could be their Naughty Dog. But you guys got to earn that back. But I'm as a player and a fan, very thrilled with the decision here. Not just because I'm like, oh, I'm getting what I want, but I'm like, the game looks better for it. Like way better for it.
And then for me, all I need from them outside of that is, okay, we have to now evolve from the 3-letter puzzles, you know, 3 symbols. Like
true.
we got to
one
do
more
some
puzzle type would be nice.
Yeah, like that we got to get more game there, and I will give you that. But great start, great foundation, and pleasantly surprised. Yeah, this was definitely what I didn't expect.
Well, my fun ended pretty quickly after that. Bethesda Presents shows up. Do you see how this shit's? Have you been on socials at all on how this shit is getting like memed on?
Oh no, they going in
because it's such a coin toss, bro. It's the most 50-50. Like on the other side of Bethesda Presents, you know the magic that can await you, but you know it's probably not there.
Got it now. Got it.
And
okay.
So, next thing they show off, here comes Fallout 76 Infestations. Now, I'm not even going to speak for myself here, okay? I decided to check myself. And by that, I mean, I went to like 15 other live streams after mine was off. And I was like, I'm gonna be that guy. I'm going to lurk. I'm going to look at everyone's reaction for this one game. Now, normally I do that in a positive sentiment. I'm normally like, okay, I love this thing. Like, how did someone react to Fable? Probably, I look everyone up. I'm like, oh, they're kind of lukewarm on that. Why were they lukewarm on that? Oh, they were hyped like me. You know, you feel the bond form, right? This is a different bond. I was like, okay, let me look at all these different streamers, all these people who were live for the showcase. What was everyone's reaction to 76? Because I know me, I know myself, I know I'm going to be extra. I need to see the people, non-76 fans, non-Bethesda fans. I just need to see what the reaction is. Cog, I got to show you this masterpiece I made, bro. I took all of these reactions, I put them together into a 1.5-minute clip. Now, the goal of this clip was to put it, or not was to, is to put it in my video, talking to Bethesda a bit about Bethesda Presents, kind of people lamenting the whole like, oh man, like they like the excitement everyone meets it with. Every single reaction. Oh, Bethesda Presents. Oh, every time. Every time. Everything from oh to damn it to fuck to like son of a bitch to oh. The general apathy for this game cannot be overstated any longer. Not because it's bad, not because Maddie's against online Fallout. It's because if it doesn't have anything to show, why is it here? Why is it showing up? At least there were times. This has been at 5 showcases in a row, by the way. And I know people are like, what do you expect, bro? Show something new and exciting. Not let's roll out the same 76 spirited trailer of like, join the fun. You've never heard of this before. And it's like, everyone fucking knows about this game, dude. Everyone fucking knows it exists. It's not a secret anymore. It had a comeback in 2024. It's been doing work since it came to Steam. Everyone knows this game exists. Stop doing marketing like this is a brand new fucking video game. It drives me insane, dude. And so again, this drove me to a level where I'm like, I gotta see the people. And I'm like, how do you put this shit on the stage when everyone's reaction is, oh, is it a remaster? Oh. Bethesda. Oh. I would be embarrassed, bro. I would be embarrassed. I'd be like, we can't keep doing this to this game, bro, because we're hurting ourselves. Because what's happening now is you're doing splash damage. Now people are pissed about Starfield. Now people are pissed about ESO. Now people are pissed about Elder Scrolls 6. Now they're pissed about Fallout 3 Remaster. They're asking what the fuck's going on. And you're like, hey, man, they just don't like us. They're just against us. But we're going to just roll this trailer out again. Stop doing this shit, dude. It's so tired. I watched Locke's reaction. I watched Big Fry's reaction. I watched. So I went to the streets because I was like, I need to know if people are as like whatever about this, or if they're like me and they're freaks about it, or whatever it may be. Right. But it's so old now. I'm like, okay, if you show up like 2024, they show up, they're like Skyline Valley, our first ever map expansion. There we go. You had something of tangible value to bring to the table, and you showed it. That is significant. But when you're like, new season just began, this whole Xbox move of like, reminder, this exists, by the way, shit, like get addition by subtraction, dude. Addition by subtraction. It made its announcement. It had its moment. That is my fucking rant. I really need to get that off.
Get that off.
I recorded a whole video just talking about Bethesda Presents and just like what they are missing. It's like, you need to understand that people are literally despising you actively because they all want one thing from you. And it's one thing if you don't want to show ES6. Well, let's put that to the side.
Okay.
You have one of the most leaked video games ever in Fallout 3 Remaster. Pull the fucking trigger, dude. What are we waiting for?
I see where you go.
What are we doing at this point? Okay, it's one thing if you had your own plans, but the thing that Bethesda used to do so well is why I go hard on them. Okay,
Tell me why.
They used to adjust. So when Rage 2 leaked by Walmart Canada, what did Bethesda do? They didn't sit there and go, well, we wanted to announce this in 2016 when we were ready to. Fuck that, dude. Marketing can't work that way. You guys had to move. You made a meme account about it. Pete Hines made an interview about it. He Walmart Canada. You got on the stage. You fucking let it rip, and the game made noise. It was brilliant. That's the thing that sucks about people like Pete Hines going, is now they're just like, we're not doing anything about it. The game is leaked 4 times. Everyone's like expecting it. But we're hanging on to it for dear life because you got to wait for your moment. And it's going to be great when we get that moment. Don't get it twisted. I'm not going to be bitching about this then. But it's about Fallout. You took the special moment of TV screen. What did you feel when Fallout 4 first showed up and you saw that please stand by image? That please stand by TV. It meant something. It means nothing now.
I see. Okay, I see where you're going.
It means nothing now. You have watered it down so badly to a point where Big Fry's reaction should be seen because he goes, Bethesda presents 76 update before it even shows up, and it happens. He goes, yep, and he turns away. I'm like, the apathy, bro. It's so real for so many people who are not Bethesda freaks like me. They need to do something, not just panic announce a game, but you need to stop hurting yourself. Anyone who's interested already knows about it. Things like Burning Springs do bring new players in. Things like Infestations are for your existing fan base. It's just a waste of a slot, a waste of time. You can't keep doing it. Fucking rant over. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for indulging me one last time on this shit. But this was like, when I saw the people were upset, I was like, okay, it's Maddie bitching. But dude, my chat.
Talk to me.
We're in Gears E-Day, and I'm getting super chats. How did Todd do this to us, bro? Like, people were still bringing it up. An hour later, they were like, yo, Maddie, you got to talk about this. I'm like, okay. I'm like measuring the crowd. I'm like, okay, all right. Like, I'll look into it, guys. But when I saw the people, the streets were kind of like, yo, Bethesda presents is like a heart attack moment at this point. Like, it's like guaranteed. Like, dude, the hate is real, and they're doing it to themselves. So that's what the whole video is about, minus my tirade here. It's a much more well-reasoned, level-headed, like, hey, guys, let's have an honest talk about kind of what you've been doing lately and how you can help yourselves out. But for the people here, you get the unfiltered 8-minute rant on just...
Listen.
Woo!
You got it off. Look, you tell them what the streets... And to your defense, obviously... people feel away, right? And I guess for me, my thing is I try to understand why companies or people do what they do. It's clear as day what y'all guys want. Y'all want Fallout 3. Y'all want the remastered. Y'all want Fallout 4. Y'all want the games, the new Vegases. I get it. It's just, it's got to be the numbers, right? It's got to be that they are seeing growth to keep continuing. Like bro, they got a next generation update for this game.
That's the thing. Okay. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
I'm going to add that to my video. I'm making a fucking note. Thank you for saying that. They actually had news like this in the tuck.
Yeah.
476. Like, this is something people have been asking every fucking summer. It's like a new interview setting up. Like, here's John Rush. Here's Bill Lacoste. Hey guys, like, where's the next gen version? What's going on with that? And they're like, oh, we don't know. We're not sure if we can do that. And they found a way. And I'm like, that's big. Like, you know, I mean, again, when I read the replies on Twitter, when they announced it, people were like, what the fuck? How'd this take so long? What the fuck is Bethesda even doing? People are pissed until they get Fallout 3 Remaster and Elder Scrolls 6.
Right.
That's just how it's going to be. But for people like me who are like, look, dude, like, I want a native PS5 version because that's where my PS4 save is. This was awesome news. If you're doing a whole join the fun trailer, like, that's the timing to talk about that. Like,
got you. Yeah, I got you.
76 has struggled with this. Like, they announced Burning Springs, right? They do the whole preview thing. And then when Fallout Day comes around last year, October 23rd, they just roll out the same information again. And it's like, why don't you guys just wait for the big Fallout Day where there was no other announcements? You know, like, why don't you just do it then?
That's what you said.
So their timing, I wish I could be in that building at times because I'm like, guys, like, you have the pieces, but your timing and your methodology is fucking terrible. It's so bad. They're so stuck in their ways. It's frustrating. But yeah, thank you for bringing that up because the PS5 and Xbox Series version is big. That is a big deal.
A huge deal, bro. And like I said, as a guy that I'm gonna be real with you, I'm bougie. I told them to their face, like, I'm not playing that until when's that happening? And then I'm like, okay, now you have my attention. I want that glow up. I want that fidelity. And obviously the dynamic of it. They got content. The problem right now is that I think as a company, the strategy is we're gonna keep rolling out these live service stuff to satiate. It's like you got to present homework to the teacher. Like, it's like you have to roll this out, even though we know what we really want. They have to roll it out, and I get it though. I want to be empathetic to the base who rolls their eyes and say, "Here we go again." I get now. I will say this though, the other one that we gonna get to, I don't care what y'all say. Y'all can roll. I'm gonna fight y'all on the other one. The 76 one, I get it. But the other one that they roll out that I know some people get upset with, we're going to get to that one. I think they own it. I got my own biases and my own reasons, and we'll get to that one. Okay. That's where I'll get my rant off.
Okay. Is it this next one from Bethesda, I wonder? Doom the Dark Ages Revelations?
No, actually it was not.
Okay. Okay.
No, that wasn't it. That's for you. I'm curious with you because I know how you feel in reference to previous Dooms and the gameplay as opposed to the Dark Ages and the direction they went with the shield and in the different style of combat. I can just tell you how it felt in the room. In the room when this was shown, people were popping off a little bit. People liked the degradation of the Doom Slayer. He seemed to be subjugated and thing, and he's fighting his way out. This, that, and third.
Did you see that like Doom 1 and 2 callback in the middle of the trailer from like I was like, whoa, what is this?
Yes.
Yeah, very interesting.
I saw some movement potentially for Maddie. I saw the shield drop down a little bit, like it wasn't so shield dependent. I saw spears. I said, okay, maybe they took a little bit. Maybe they didn't go all the way with the feedback, but just enough diversion and new stuff. And I'll be honest, I did like narratively what the DLC seemed to be attempting to do with the Doom Slayer. So I'm curious. I felt like, okay, all right. I understand this is a controversial Doom for some. And I don't want to be disrespectful to the OGs, the Returnals. I get it. For the people who love what they love, this still might not satiate them. But for me, I thought it looked cool, and I was like, you know what? I might be willing to check you out. I like where you go with this, but I know how you feel about obviously Dark Ages. What side of the fence you are? How did you receive this DLC?
Oh, it looks great. I mean, I'm not going to play it just because, again, I for me, July is looking pretty open outside of Halo, and I want to take advantage of that because it seems like come August, my days of chipping at my backlog is going to be over. But yeah, dude, Doom the Dark Ages Revelations looks awesome. Like it looks, again, the kind of classic Doom callback was cool. The story stuff looked really nice. The kind of floating in air using the spear and kind of like constantly keeping yourself afloat. Like it just looked next level crazy. And I think they totally delivered on their promise of like, yeah, dude, this is going to be like a whole new game. I'm surprised they didn't go for a standalone release, to tell you the truth. It just looked like there was so much there. Because Bethesda's done that before with like Wolfenstein, the Old Blood. And I thought that was a really cool thing. They did it with Dishonored, Death of the Outsider. They did these kind of micro games, I like to call them. And I thought that was a really fun era for Bethesda. And they just kind of stopped that. But this game kind of felt it warranted it. But it looked great. It looked really great. It's just, again, one of those things where it's like I'm choosing preemptively to spend my time in different places. You know, again, the parry dark or the parry Doom stuff, like I didn't hate it by any means. It's just like I was like, okay, they feel like they're kind of done now. And so I'm ready for whatever they're doing next, like truly, not like DLC like this. But it definitely looks good. And I'm excited for their fans because I think they're gonna eat this thing up, no doubt about it.
Yeah, that's big for you. I'm impressed.
Oh yeah.
I thought you was going to see that shield and be like, here they go again.
No. I mean, this industry loves its parries. I mean, to me, it's just the irony of like Doom having a parry. I'm like, really like you guys are such innovators. You really need to like copy them, but it's fine. Like I said, it's a good game. It's just not like my favorite. I think for what each Doom did for when it released, it kind of moved something in a significant way. And that one just didn't feel like, at least for me, it moved in a significant enough way. Speaking of significant moves, how about driving all over town in a crazy taxi world tour? Now, I should probably open up with this one. This is coming next year, but we'll say this. A little disclosure popped up on the Steam page.
Oh, what happened?
Now, pro AI bros are not going to give a fuck. They're going to roll their eyes at this one, but there's an AI generated content disclosure on the page for Crazy Taxi World Tour. Says the developers describe how their game uses AI generated content like this. At Sega Corp, we utilize generative AI as a support tool for developers, aiming to provide better content to our users and enable developers to focus more on creative tasks. We have used such generative AI support tools during development of Crazy Taxi World Tour. No AI was used in reference to the performers in the game. So very vague, non-committal. Where they used it, it could be everything from textures to in-game models to nothing that we'd care about at all, like placeholders. But it is Gen AI.
Wow, yeah.
So I would say, please keep that in mind. That said, I will hold myself accountable. I liked what I saw in the trailer. Then I learned that afterwards, I'm like, oh, the internal war begins once more. So I would like to see the follow-up comments from Sega.
Yes,
but
for sure.
While I await that, I mean, part of it's also like, dude, you guys are making Jet Set Radio remake and like, you know, that game's legit art. Like you can't, if I see the AI gen for that too, I'm going to be a little more upset. But with Crazy Taxi, I got no attachment to this one. Looks fun though. But have you played Crazy Taxi before?
Hell yes.
Okay, fill us in. How were you feeling about this?
Man, it's funny that I have two trains of thoughts that would do information. But no, look, let's get Crazy Taxi means a lot to me. Crazy Taxi was one of the early Dreamcast games. I remember it in the arcade, but this game had such verticality. It kind of replicated, you know, what I would consider like a version of San Francisco, the big hills, you know, Bay Area people know, like it just replicated that. And it was just wild. It was wacky, picking up, you know, passengers, dropping them off, doing all this crazy stuff. It's like, it's a game that you're a taxi, but it's cool and fun. And let me explain something from the nostalgia pros. Listen, when you start off this trailer with when you do the Offspring, you got everyone in their feels. That is how that game started. Bro, the club people were like, let's go. That is how it started on the Dreamcast. And I was even put on, I didn't even know about Offspring until that game. And so the fact that they knew that they had to come back with the essence and put that in there, they won me over. Right? Yeah. So I'm in. I don't care what's going on selfishly. Now, We're going to address the elephant in the room. Yeah, do I like the fact that generative AI? Hell no. Obviously, we don't like generative AI in gaming for sure. They've got to address that. But I'm not going to be a fraud and be like, I am making this definitive stance and I'm not buying the game. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm crossing the picket line.
70 is there.
I'm telling you right now, all the generative, again, it's not that I am for generative AI.
Mm-hmm.
This is my baby. Remember I told you, there's always those
Sega
moments
kids
in life.
He needs his crazy taxi, right?
There's always those moments in life where certain things are going to be tested, right? And that's why I don't make definitive statements, because I knew there's going to be a game that I like that's going to try to do or mess around or flirt or whatever. But I'm not depriving myself of crazy taxi, y'all. I'm telling you
this right here, Jet Set Radio future, bro. I mean, so I think Xbox, I think Jet Set Radio, and if I see the Gen AI, I'm gonna be like, yeah, you're gonna have to be the rare exception, bro. Because here's the thing: is I need more Jet Set after this, bro. Reptile Games is an amazing developer that does Jet Set Radio like games, but like that's all we're getting otherwise. And if like something happens, then I need more Jet Set like. So, yeah, if I see the AI tag, I might have to fold there. I have.
I am part of the problem in this sense.
I know.
Yes, 100%. Hopefully, like I said, I'm glad you told me this though. I'm glad you told us, because I'm here an extra day and I may or may not get a chance to speak to said team. So now that I know this information, this is a good pointed follow-up. I would like, and hopefully they don't run from the smoke, because sometimes, people run from the smoke.
Yeah, sometimes they'll just be like, no comment.
Yeah, exactly. But thank you for telling me this. I didn't know any. Again, this is raw reaction. I'm straight from, some of play days and showcases, and I have not got a chance to really see the, what's the information that's gone post showcase. So that was actually good that you told me that.
Yeah. Did you hear that?
No.
You want to hear that?
No, I don't hear anything. It's on my side.
It sounds like funeral music, bro.
Oh, I know where we go. Oh, I hear it now. Yeah, I hear it. Here
comes the rap guy in his fucking casket, bro. 25th anniversary edition hardware is here. We're no longer paying for cloth to envelop your console. Here comes an actual box for you to buy. Controllers are not the only thing that Xbox wants to sell you. This November, Xbox Series X 25th anniversary limited edition console, going back to the translucent green with the 90s aesthetic commercial. Admittedly, when this trailer first set off, thought it was back compat, but I'll take this. This rap guy had to go, and he went out pretty brutally. And so, I mean, this is an evisceration of the rap guy. This guy's been strolling this shit out for a while now. Like, hey, get this. I still got Starfield rap, bro. I can't believe. Look at this.
I refuse to support him, man.
Like, I still got this rap. I still got this one, bro. Like, we can't do this anymore. I'm so glad rap guy's gone. That's all I'm saying.
It's over, baby. It's over. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Ladies and gentlemen, he's out of here. And I have official proof of the demise. We got your boy. He's out of here.
I saw the picture someone made of you where they swapped that out with the throat coat.
Oh, yeah, somebody just fouled. They put throat coat on there. Hilarious. Now, bro, it's clean. It's nice. It's nice.
Give us an in-person experience.
Yeah, man. 1TB. They're going for it. You got to see the actual controller itself with the black and white, kind of like the shoulder buttons kind of matching how the Duke controller was. It is so pure Xbox. You got the Xbox 25 logo on it. Bro, it is clean. It's nice. And again, for those who were there, this is my little jealousy. Asha was giving them things away to, the core fan, which was an awesome gesture. You know what I'm saying? And they will get that, I'm assuming, in November. But I gotta get my hands on this bad boy, man. Like this thing, I need that. And here's the thing. It's symbolic for another reason. We clowning Rap Guy, right? But another reason why we clowning Rap Guy is that we didn't get any custom consoles for the most part this generation, right? Think about it, right? So to me, oh wow,
got the SpongeBob one.
Yeah, true. Yeah, like I forgot about that. Yeah, so it's like it's just so cool to see. Again, I don't know if this solves a stock issue or anything like that. But it's
That's
so
what I was
cool
surprised by. I'm like, you guys have stock for this? What's going on?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, oh, we're doing, this is what we wanted. So you're not completely throwing in the towel on current generation hardware. You're making something. That's a good sign. It's signs of life. That's how I look at it. Signs of life of console investment. That's what I like to see from Xbox. And yes, I'm championing the hell of that. I will be there day one. What you got there? What you got cooking?
Got the old Xbox Series or Controller S. And so, yeah, dude, like this is what I thought of when I saw that controller and that console. I'm like, that translucent green here, dude, like that is Xbox. Laylee got this for me. When she got me, I have the Halo Combat Evolved OG Xbox, and she got me like the matching controller with it, bro. And this is to me like the Xbox controller. And so that and the Duke, of course.
Hell yeah.
But just, yeah, dude, like seeing this and then seeing that 25th anniversary, I'm like, oh, they get it. Rap guy's gone too. Like,
yes, wow. Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. That's it. That's it for him. It's a wrap.
We were getting a little up. So they had to bring us down. Here comes Age of Empires 4 with the new expansion, Riders of the North, coming fall this year. And they're not afraid of GTA. They're like, who the fuck in our fan base is going to be playing that? Admittedly, in all seriousness, I don't really have many thoughts on this one. I haven't played much Age of Empires, but do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, it's kind of like what we said before. It's what, I just look at it as, again, I have literally no interest, but it's clearly doing well for them. It's that segment
they
of people who are playing RTS. It's got to be doing. I think, if I have to quote me, but I think it's one of those foreign regions, and maybe China, one of those this game really does well. But for us, again, we're going to look at this as the bathroom break for some people or whatever. And I get it, hardcore gamers, but there's a reason why it's out there. And salute to the people who actually, they're getting new content and new product. And I did predict we would see them. The World's Edge and all these guys and other people we're going to talk about. We're going to regrettably see them because it's their segment. They're going to come outside. So that's how I looked at it.
September 29th, you're going to get your hands on Minecraft Dungeons 2. It looked good. I'm not going to play it, but like it looked good. I'm not. Yeah. Anything else I'd have to say? I'm just going to sound like a dick. It's not for me. Obviously, not for me.
Same. Not for me. But I thought it had personality. I thought it looked cool. I looked good. And for people, I know people who really loved the first one, really reviewed well. And yeah, again, more for them. Mo Yang, the money makers. I can't get mad. We laugh and we probably roll our eyes and like these are the games that probably make so much profit for them. But yeah, this is like, okay, cool. That's for y'all. God bless. And you got another one.
Look, my excuse for games like this is like, because I know it's like, oh, you're a host at Xbox, you should really be on the first party. It's like, I am. I play like all their first party shit, but come on, there's so many studios to keep track of, guys. Like, I can't be an expert on everything. You can't expect me to play Minecraft Dungeons 2, right? Gotta give me some grace, right? Please, thank you.
Facts.
Here was a great looking game, dude. Magicians, the Devil's Deal. Shows up by Focus Home Interactive, and I get the developer's name here. I don't want to leave them out of the fun here. Focus Home and Uppercut Games. And at first, I'm realizing something. I'm like, oh, it's a CG trailer. This is like the first we got of this, the whole entire show. Like, okay, one thus far. Like, that's pretty fucking good. Oh, then there's gameplay. And I want to get your thoughts first, Cog, because it kind of gave me little Valid energy with the first person casting and whatnot. But what did you think of what you saw of Magicians, the Devil's Deal? Again, this is coming 2027.
Yeah, I didn't know what to make of this at first. I didn't know where it was going. You had the commentary, kind of like this devil-like entity. You made a deal with the devil kind of energy. Then I was like, is it horror first person running away from something? Is that just what the gameplay is? But then it started getting into that magician lore, that wand, that spell crafting. It looked cool, man. The more I saw of it, the more intrigued I got. And I'm like, okay, you've got my attention. This was the surprise for me. I told people a bunch after the showcase, whatever that little magician game with the devil guy, Mephisto kind of like character. And I was just like, yeah, I'm interested. Yeah. Weird enough for Cog to be like, yeah, I want to know more about this.
I'm with you. Yeah, this game looked awesome though. Like especially when I saw like the magic cards coming out, the top hat, them rotating the room. I'm thinking to myself, this is looking very, very familiar yet different. Like, again, remind me of Avowed with like the first person animations, but like very cool aesthetic. Kind of remind me of BioShock 2 as well. Like,
Okay.
it really did remind me of that game. But yeah, just that was a really special one. I was very pleasantly surprised by that.
Great.
We got another September game after this. Valor Mortis, the first-person Souls-like game. This arrives September 24th, provided the date holds. And man, this is like the perfect example of like, I would 100% make time for you. Like, you look really, really good, but you're also out next to like 18 other things, and I feel like you might fall to the wayside. So I don't know what to tell you. This might not work out, but it looks great. I mean, it's just, again, Souls-like games like this are not frequent. You look at so many of them, they're all third person. Here comes one different camera angle. It's got to play differently because of that. Very interesting, very exciting. So it looks great. I'll have to feel this one out, see how much of a must play it is. But Cog, I want to see how you're feeling about Valor Mortis, a first person Souls-like game. Could this bring you into the realm a little bit more?
I'm rewatching now because I'm trying to remember because I was in so many.
Oh no!
Right? No. I'm looking right now. No. This was cool. I do remember this. Yeah. It had an interesting start at first, but as I kept watching it, and yeah, that's the joint with the armor and the thing. Yeah. Nah, this joint was fire. I do remember this now. Yeah, now this I like conceptually where their locale is. Is it French? Yeah, it was like the French joint. Yeah. This look cool. Souls, yes, clearly not all my thing, but I will say, at first, for some reason, I don't know if it was this game. I don't know why I thought it was either this game or another game that I thought it was maybe something to do with Liza P, and it had nothing to do with Liza P. But this game actually did look cool. Now, seriously, I did like what it did. I'm probably not gonna rock just because of the proximity and what's in that,
sure.
That range. But for people that like Souls, they're gonna want to get down with this.
That's the thing. It's like I'm a target audience for this, but it's just like, I don't know, man. When I got Blood of Dawnwalker that month, Wolverine that month, and so many others, like it's hard to fit in a third or a fourth. Like that's gonna be bloodbath.
Yeah, them two look crazy.
Yeah. I imagine this is what you were alluding to earlier. Elder Scrolls Online gets its Season 1 teaser update. Season 1 arrives July 8th. So you can check it out then. Everything from Sheogorath, the Prince of Madness, all the way to Thieves Guild storyline was here. Might I add, this was all previously shown. Cog, your thoughts?
Look, maybe I missed the boat. Apologies. I'm a Thieves Guild dude. I'm a Dark Brotherhood dude, and I'm a Thieves Guild dude.
Okay.
I'm a Sheogorath dude. I'm a Shivering Isles guy, right? This is how you get me. You want to throw the werewolves and all that other stuff, great. You want to throw stealth, what I consider murking and murder, murk in the shadows, murk and murder. Murk and murder. That's a soft term. I stole that from Soft. We love our murk and murder game. I'm not gonna hold you. This looked impressive to me. And yes, Cognito has a bias towards ninjas and cows. And it looked good for me. I gotta check it out. I like Thieves Guild. That was what anytime I played Elder Scrolls, I'm doing Thieves Guild, and I'm doing Dark Brotherhood all the time. I don't do Fighters Guild too much. I don't do the Mages Guild too much. Those are my two favorite. They finally put for me the one I want. So biased, my bias is here. It's kicking in. And I like the way it was looking, so I ain't gonna hold you. So they got one for me. Normally, it would have been I would say roll my eye segment, because Elder Scrolls Online has, I understand it has a contingent stuff. Like, I don't know what the player count is. I don't know what the base is. I can't speak to that. But this is how you get my attention. So, yeah. And the Sheogorath hit home for me. I really like that DLC back in the day, So, on the main base game.
Yeah, no, ESO's great. Just, I mean, they announced and showed off so much of this already. So it was just like,
got you.
Yeah. But maybe I'm more just tapped in, I guess. But like, it was.
Yeah.
it gets a little bit of
So
the
you
benefit of
knew
like,
about
I like
this.
you. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so you knew
All
this
this,
was been
everything
shown.
outside
Okay,
of the
gotcha.
release date, I knew about. Yeah, but they've been talking like because this is like new for them doing seasons.
Got it.
They used to be like lock it in every June. Here comes another big expansion, but this time they're like, I think bringing back some stuff from the original release of the game back in like
Mhm.
2014, and the Thieves Guild is back and Sheogorath's back. It's kind of like some of the fans were kind of displeased, and they're sort of trying to get
Ooh.
back to the essence of that, is my understanding. And it's surprising to hear that because I'm like, ESO is so great, but I guess I'm like a fair weather player where I'm not there like every day
Right,
grinding
right,
it. I
right. Fair
love
enough,
the
fair enough.
MMO because I can pick it up and play it whenever I want, and I like that it's a very much buy to own, no subscription fee type shit. So
Yes.
I really respect it for that as well. To me, it's like 76, in its most ideal state. Like if 76 milks you dry, this game really doesn't. So it's got my respect. But yeah, it was definitely just, Bethesda presents and like,
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, I
yeah.
see what the streets are
Like
saying. Okay, I
third
got
time's
you.
the charm, please. Nope, never mind.
Fair
Uh,
enough.
One more update, of course. This time it goes to Microsoft Flight Simulator. It got its World Update 22. This arrives on Independence Day, July 4th. You get the Goodyear blimp. There's new landscapes. You'll be able to take part in the National Championship air races in New Mexico. And so that's all available for you again in July. So if you're interested in flying some planes or whatnot, you can go ahead and do so with World Update 22. Cog, do you have any thoughts on this one? Did this meet your expectations?
Not nothing I'm really too interested in. And yeah, I was actually surprised to see them again. I felt like they just came off of the Stranger Things update. And prior to that, they had that whole ambulance stuff, which I thought was, pretty cool for people who love this franchise. But yeah, all right, well, okay, more content for you. But, ready to know what else next is coming out from, new stuff.
We got one shadow drop this showcase. Where Winds Meet is officially on Xbox. This is a big game from China that had a bit of a takeover moment for a brief period last year. A lot of people really like it. Some people didn't, but overall, it made a lot of noise still. And now it's on Xbox, which I thought was significant because they're not really missing out on, like, their weak spot was Japan. Now they seem to have shored up the defenses. Now it's about targeting China, which it seems like PlayStation's also doing the same thing. So did you have any thoughts on this one, sir?
Not too much. I just knew that it was a big title and it was important, for that, again, that blind spot, so to speak, right? To those gaps to be filled. And again, have to give them credit. For the most part, these gaps are getting filled. So yeah, I don't got too much to add because I don't really, play the game like that, know the game like that. But it looks fine, and I'm obviously, to see the game make the platform is all I care about.
Yeah, 100%. Castlevania Belmont's Curse showed up. It got a release date this time. This was originally revealed in February during the State of Play. So this is the latest update for the game. Just more bosses, more animation, more stuff. But again, it's coming October 15th this year. A great month for a new Castlevania game. And the music for this, dude, like the organ with kind of like a little bit of drums as well, a little bit of choir. I mean, just fucking, this thing's oozing atmosphere. It looks so good. It's got me like really on this wave of wanting to play the Castlevania games and kind of like familiarize myself a bit. But I'm very excited about this, and I'm curious, did this light your fire at all, sir?
I used to be a Castlevania guy. It's just, I don't know. I've deferred to Solve. He used to continue to pick all the other stuff, and no, it looked cool. I will say I like the dialogue in this game. They were talking that talk to her. They were like, "Yeah, what I do to kill one of these female monsters." So I was like, "Yo, what I did?" Like he was like, "What I do to like own a Belmont?" I was like, "Damn!" Like yeah, they were going in, but nah, it looked cool. Castlevania is a classic. The 2D art style, the music. I will say it's probably not as painterly as I would have wanted it, but it still looks good. And overall, I thought I wasn't disgusted. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, okay, looks good, looks fun.
You were a
Gameplay
little
looks
spoiled
cool.
with Shinobi, it sounds like,
I mean, when you come from the great Decay, and then what was the other one? What was the classic Castlevania? Why I can't remember. Is it Bloodlines? What's that one? It's just so beautiful looking. It's a specific art style Is
I'm
it
actually not sure.
Symphony?
I'm super unfamiliar with the franchise,
Yeah,
to
I
tell you
think
the
it's
truth,
Symphony of
man.
the Night. One of them joints that when you look at it, it jumps off the page. And I kind of got
Mm,
spoiled by Castlevania in that look. You know what
okay.
I'm saying? Again,
Okay.
not that this one looks bad. It's just a specific art style. I'm
I
like,
get it. Yeah.
I
I
like
feel
that
you.
from you. So that's all it was. But no, shout out to Castlevania fans. Y'all eat, yeah, get another one. So that's what's up.
Okay. This next one, dude, I think this will surprise you. Game of the show.
Uh-oh. Which one? Where we at?
Vivarium.
Wow,
Oh
I
no,
like
he
it.
forgot my game of the show. My goat is getting slandered in real time.
Oh, I'm looking now. Okay, yes. I know what it is now. I
Yeah,
remember the name. I
dude.
forgot the name. I know what you're talking about now.
Nah,
Yes,
it's
continue.
all good. Oh man. Oh man. This is a beautiful looking game. Have you ever had a trailer kind of take over your whole body before where you're just
Mm,
like in a trance? That is that happened to me watching this, bro. I was starting to well up and get emotional watching this. I'm like, this is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's this old anime art style, which has really just. So I've been watching Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, which is more early 2000s, but I've been really drawn to older anime these last few months now. And it's not even like a nostalgia thing. It's just because there's plenty of new anime I watch that looks, Free Ren, JJK, like these things, they look amazing too. So it's not like it's just there's something about the flat colors, the film, the grain on screen, just something about that, and a whole game around that, like that. To kind of pull from the Disney angle, there's a game called By Sweet Carol that I played last year that was a little horror driven, like Disney horror. And it was a nice little 9-10 hour game. Thought it had a cute little story, a little creepy at times, and it had some all right puzzles. Like it was a flawed game, but it had a lot of soul to it, I thought. And this game now being this sort of life simulator, but with the old anime style, with that music and the sound effects and just the sort of like the line saying like, let's just continue to be best friends like this. Just and then seeing the terrarium as they zoomed out and it's in like a
mm,
stormy house and you're like, okay, so there's a little mystery, but because what I was waiting for is it's kind of a shtick for these games is here's our extremely beautiful hand-drawn art style and it's a horror game or something like that. And that's fine. That works in my brain every time, 10 out of 10 times. I'm like, oh, interesting. But this, I love that it stayed wholesome. It stayed cozy, but there's also that mystery on what's on the outside. And so I just thought this was a beautiful looking game. Like just I've looked at it, my jaw dropped. I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm about to tear up just listening to this, watching this. Like this is incredible looking. So I cannot wait for this game. Like there's a lot here that's more Matty ass stuff for sure. We're about to get
mm.
into a couple of those. But this game totally swept me away. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna remember that. That is a really great trailer, but just a very distinct looking game that I enjoy the occasional cozy game. Of course, people know like big Pokemon Pacopia guy, big Dragon Quest
Yes,
Builder guy. Like, of
yes.
course, that can speak to but there's something to be said that when I reconnected with that feeling when playing Pacopia this year, that feeling of like, oh, what a long day. And this is like a cozy, warm blanket that's just really settling me down. I'm
Yes.
so used to playing like boss ass shit and just beating the fuck out of
I
things
beat
and
something
being
big.
engaged in stories that sometimes you forget that feeling when a game just, hey, relax, we're going to tuck you in tonight, like, and that's
Yes.
what this game kind of did for me in the middle of the afternoon. So that was a really cool feeling. My little tangent there is over, but I thought Vivarium looked really special. I'm curious if you agree, sir. Did this resonate with you at all?
I like the art style. I didn't know what the
Oh
hell was going
no!
on.
Oh
I
no!
didn't know what they was doing. I thought it was an anime or something. I didn't know. I was like, they must know this character. I didn't know what was going on. King is with you though. He
Mm,
kept tapping me. Yo, this joint is beautiful. Yo.
mm.
And then as I kept on, I was like, all right. I just want to know what it's about. So it's a life sim. I got confused for some
I
reason.
got you.
It
We'll
it
read the
looked
Steam
good.
description. Do you want?
Please read the description to me. Yes.
All right, let's go through the whole thing here. It's actually
Mhm.
not too long. Okay. You wake up in the golden haze of a late afternoon. The air is warm, cicadas hum somewhere in the distance, and sunlight spills out of your bedroom. And outside your window, there's a tiny world waiting. You play as an 11-year-old named Jenny, a bright and energetic resident of the terrarium. But this isn't just her story. Somewhere buried deep under the summer days and small town routines is another life. Beneath the nostalgic atmosphere of this close-knit town lies a hidden truth. Explore a perfect pocket world to reveal its secrets and progress through a non-linear narrative shaped by your choices. Oh shit, I didn't know that at all. Jenny's charming neighborhood is inhabited by a charismatic cast of characters, each with their own branching and dynamic storyline. A reclusive woman slowly becoming something else, a shopkeeper that gives daily album recommendations, a funny postal worker who drinks like a fish and is a fish, a nosy retiree birdwatcher who keeps tabs on other townies, a wandering fortune teller who seems to know too much. Days in Vivarium are synced to the player's real-world calendar, allowing for daily new discoveries while unraveling its mysterious narrative. Completing major story events will progress time, but every night provides endless slice of life comfort and time that can be spent by cooking new recipes and tending to your garden, collecting stickers, vinyl records, and classic novels to enjoy, crafting items and decorating your cozy home, and repairing equipment and preparing for tomorrow's adventure. I didn't know half of that shit. That sounds really good, though.
That's actually more impressive. I apologize. Yeah, that actually sounds actually kind of cool on some levels. And I didn't realize, you could, once you kind of, if you throw some choice and consequence on me.
Yeah, that's kind of, that twisted it for me a little. I was like,
I tend to be like, all right, I'm going to see what you got going on. All right. Art style's beautiful, for sure.
We got Cog in on Vivarium. Let's go. Yeah, whenever this thing arrives, I'll be there day one. This shit looks awesome. It's like this and Witchbrook are these super ambitious indie games, if you can even call them that just like do so many things and it's look really great. Okay. Well, if Vivarium wasn't game of the show, this certainly would have been. It still kind of is, but I mean, I don't know, man. This is where the showcase really slap, where I'm just like, wow, they're just pulling out like, here come the big guns. Persona 6. It's real. Cog, I want you to go first. I know this is mad like me, but we did meme for Persona 4, but you have the interaction with Sav that I want to just get into a little bit here. Just break it down for me. The moment, the reveal, you see the logo, but most importantly, I think it's the logo at the tail end of it all, a Game Pass logo for Persona 6. I really didn't expect that, but Cog, walk me through the emotion and the energy in that building, the feelings you had seeing this, Sav's emotions that he was pouring through. How are we feeling, Cog?
Bro, I was so messy during this segment. This is why I lost my voice. I was yelling, yes, Sav, yes! Like, in the theater. People must have thought, who the hell is Sav? I had random journalist people. They like, what is this guy yelling random names into the...
This reminds me.
Yes, good.
Speaking of hearing you, I'm watching a clip when Asha Sharma gave away all the Xboxes, right? And whoever's filming this thing, bro, must have been next to you. Because all I hear is you go, ha, 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 yeah, like that. Like, yeah. And I'm like, and it's just like my random, her name's Nikki. She runs like a Fallout focused Twitter account. And I'm just looking, I was like, I just heard Cog. That's unbelievable. Sorry. Go ahead.
Bro, I can get ridiculous. And these are those moments. And it was like, all right, so the trailer comes on, and I'll be honest, I didn't know what this was. It feels like it was Tombstones. Like great. I didn't know what it was. And then it flashed out and then flashed back. So I was like, is the trailer stuck? What is this? And then I see Atlas. And I see the name. Like, oh, this is unknown. We don't know what this is. And then I see that P6. And I see that name. And I go, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. This is how this man was. He was so desperate. He knew he was in trouble. He knew
he's in trouble. He's running away from the smoke.
Oh, he knew he was in trouble. This is how he was trying to box his way out of this corner, Matty. This man had the nerve, the gall to try to say that, okay, well, this is before the showcase. If it's announced for Xbox, if PlayStation has an exclusive demo, I still win the bet because it comes out to the platform for no, Soph, I'm not letting you squirm up. But you know what made this even sweeter? I didn't even ask for any form of exclusivity. I didn't even, all I wanted it to be on a platform. But Maddie, when I saw that Game Pass logo, those knees were mine. That was the surprise, bro. Bro, you would have told me Persona 6 is coming to the platform. I say yes, it's going to happen. Same way I predicted the Final Fantasy VII Remake series. Oh, and I got all my flowers with that.
Yes, you did.
I got all y'all comment boys. I'm going to be messy for a little bit. For years, slandered me. He doesn't know what he's talking about. It's never coming. Then on top of that, I said, remember, Maddie, one of the more recent Dukes, I was like, yo, the thing with the final one, they're going to do a simultaneous release, right? Because you're doing almost like catch-up mechanics and this, that.
Yeah.
And boom, revelation happens, and it's just like that. It just made so much sense. And again, I got to shout out past regime with relationship with Sega, relationship with Square, fixing the issues, right? So my thing was, okay, they're going to get it. But I wasn't selfish. I was like, look, it'll be a metaphor situation. They'll get it. You're going to pay full price, maybe 1 year to the date. Then you get lucky if a Game Pass thing and the sales tail. They got a new Persona game in Game Pass, buddy. That is absolutely bonkers.
I couldn't believe it.
I could not believe it. And Solves of these just look so great on my shelf. And I'm besides myself. I just don't know how to handle, because he never loses bets. Like, he's the smartest man in the room. And it just feels great to set off 2026 like this. It's fantastic. Persona, thank you.
Well,
now, let's talk about the game.
Congrats to you. This is a great victory for you. Because for those who have listened for years, they know this has been ongoing since like the dark days of like Capcom skipping because of like the MT framework issues and what the hell is going on. Xbox gets some, but not all. This is like a 4-year-long discussion coming to fruition. This is a huge moment. I have to say, gun to my head, I was never ever saying Game Pass for this thing, because I was like, Atlas has their mainstream hit incoming. Persona 5 and 4 are very big, so is 3 now. But everyone's looking at the next big new one to like get in. Like, some people are skipping on the remakes and whatever. They sell well, but it's like, it's that new though that everyone's waiting on. Especially Persona 5 fans. They've been very patient, or I should say, those who were there at release. It's going to be a decade probably by the time this comes out, if the leaks are true that this is coming out September next year. Oh man, I mean, where do I start with this one? So
I want to hear it.
I guess first off, like when you saw Atlas, you're like, this has to be it. But I love how they threw us off. So many people were like, "Oh, that's it." I'm like, "What do you mean that's it?" Like, okay, don't get me wrong. If I saw gameplay, I would have been like, "Oh, fuck yes." Did I expect it though? No. I was surprised they even had this at the showcase, because they had Persona 4 there in such a big way. You cannot drown out Persona 4. You need to let it do its thing, and we'll see Persona 6 after the fact. But look, dude, maybe not after the fact. Maybe we'll see it this December or something like that. But look, Persona 6, bro, going this route, kind of what is described here. I'll just read this.
Let's get the scriptures.
Navigate the rhythms of everyday school life and build friendships, pursue romance, and cultivate memories that matter. But beneath the surface of familiar streets and quiet neighborhoods lies something darker. Strange rumors, unsettling urban legends, and occult incidents that only you and your closest allies can face. Now, anyone who's fucked around with early Persona, and I mean early, like Persona 1, knows they kind of went in this direction. Like the first one had like you walking around the classroom and you were trying to do something, just summon something. Like, they're going back to the essence for this. And I think that is very interesting, especially because like 4 is so joyful. 3 is about life and death, and I think this could kind of fall into that pocket. 5 is very joyous in a lot of ways. This is getting to the essence of Persona 1 and 2. This is not a direction we expected. And especially when people were looking at the character designs, people thought Persona 6 was going to be like spies and sort of like espionage, that kind of thing. And I would have been surprised, because if Metaphor was anything to go by, especially when it released, they're not afraid to get into politics at all and communicate it very intelligently. And I love that about them, dude. It's so great to have a team like that that's not getting caught up in any culture wars, and they're just kind of like just balancing both sides of the argument so well. And so I thought that's where 6 was going to go. I was like, oh, 5 was all about injustice. 6 is about like politics and spying, occult stuff. Incredible. Now, for those who are listening, might have this question. They also write, Persona 6 brings everything about the beloved series into a bold new story. The signature blend of heartfelt daily life and pulse-pounding supernatural adventure returns, wrapped around a completely fresh, standalone story and new cast of characters. Whether you've been with the series since the beginning or this is your very first Persona experience, you belong here. So they're already getting the messaging out like, you're new, you can hop in here. You don't want to play any of the remakes, you can hop in here. Like, this is for everyone. Which is not a new thing. They're not doing like what, for those who are new coming in, never heard of Persona, never paid attention to our Persona conversations. As they mentioned here, you could start with Persona 4, then jump into 3 and then 5. Like, there is no connection. There are Easter eggs at most. And those don't like do any, when I say Easter eggs, I don't even mean narrative. I mean, like, you'll see like something in the world, like Rise in Persona 5, like, but like, it's like a little promo art for her concert, like that sort of shit. Nothing crazy. It's just, what a great surprise though, dude. It's the one time I'm like, man, leaks really took the wind out of this one though, because a lot of people who are saying like, that's it. Like, I'm telling you, you would not be feeling that way if this was not spoiled for you. If there weren't so many art driven leaks happening and Nate the Hate saying like, I feel pretty confident it'll be there. It's like, okay, lock it in. Like, all right. So this was such a where will it happen, when will it happen announcement. Like, I remember, I think Atlas did Persona 5 on their own. They just like, boom, here's the trailer. And it was just the chair with like the ball and chain wrapped around it. And like, that was it. This is pretty fucking next level. So I don't know if they're going more horror, spooky. I thought it might have been just a straight up new SMT game. I was like, oh, they're like, because SMT is like very, devil summoner. Like, it gets very dark. SMT3 Nocturne. I've not played it, but like I've seen it, like very dark type of game. So I thought it was going to be that, but this looks like it's getting back to at least tonally the core. And if it's thematically inspired, that whole kind of life or death thing, again, Persona 3 really did that, and that hits pretty fucking hard. I am sure this is going to be some sort of tending with loved ones passing sort of storyline, and that is going to fuck me up. So I cannot wait, because these games are to me seminal. They are genre defining stories at their absolute finest, and I have no doubt whatsoever Persona 6 will be more of that. So I cannot wait. Whenever it arrives, I will be there.
Huge deal for this game.
Here's one we predicted. Spyro is back. Spyro: A Realm Beyond is here. It's coming from Toys for Bob, and it's arriving spring next year. First new Spyro game in like 2 decades, and also this is significant because like this is an old IP from the library that Xbox had bought, going to a development partner that was part of Activision but no longer is, keeping that partnership alive, and they have brought a franchise back. To me, as someone who's played approximately 2 hours of Spyro, because while I was waiting for you, I was like, let me try this for the first time. All I'll say is that I can't say I'm like a diehard fan. So I'm not going to speak from that angle. It's more about the moment for other fans and the actions Xbox, presumably old leadership, took to get here, and how I hope it continues with new leadership. Continue to find development partners for franchises where it makes sense, like you do with Ninja Gaiden, like you do here with Spyro, and continue to kind of like pound the rock. Continue to get us more franchises coming back. You have too many great IP and too many talented devs out there to just let them lie idly. So I thought just for that moment alone, this was huge. Really cool to see it, but I was thrilled for the fans. Cog, I don't know. Are you a Spyro guy at all? You play this a lot?
I'll be honest, not really, but I'm familiar. I am familiar. This was cool to see. This was important because it's like, again, getting Toys for Bob and them out of the salt mines. Let's be honest, right? Like, they were relegated, bro.
Yeah.
They were relegated. And then remember, we all saw the Freedom story, and it's like they kind of bought their independence out. Just let us work how we work, let us own it, kind of thing. And the next one's like, all right, we'll release you from your contract, but you got to kind of give us the first right kind of energy. That's kind of what I got from that deal. And this is what this is. And to see a franchise that people love come back, and we just got to see how they reimagine it. But I was actually happy for Spyro Bros. I was like, You got your boy free. He's back. Salute
Game Pass as well.
Yes, Game Pass back. Big deal.
I mean, I guess it's Activision published, so it makes sense. But just again, with like Toys for Bob kind of spinning out, I was like, I don't know if that'll happen. But yeah, just again, that and Persona 6, I'm like, wow, they're like really just no end to that service in sight. That's for sure. With the exclusivity thing, people thought like, oh, but like they're still going for it. Which again, if they're creating value around the box, these are the things you should be going for. I'll never process like Persona 6. Really?
Bro.
Is Persona 4 in there? Let me double check that real quick.
Double check. Yeah.
Let's see. Persona 4 Revival Game Pass. It's coming to Game Pass, bro. What? Mm-hmm. I'm so surprised. This whole series was outside of Metaphor. Everything Sega has done goes to Game Pass, it feels like. Crazy.
Yeah, bro. That amazing Game Pass gets. I'm shocked.
All right, here we go. So to almost close the show, here comes Clockwork Revolution. It's no longer coming in due time. It's arriving 2027. My prediction was wrong, dude. Watching this trailer.
Yeah. Oh, bro, I watched the stream. I had to do it. I had to do it. Addict said, "Yo, look at your boy." I said, "Let me see." I gotta give I gotta run with the Dukes a little bit of play-by-play. Just a second.
Go ahead.
So I get to the end. And it goes coming in due time. And I see my boy go through it. But then it starts to flip. So now I'm like, and then I go, oh no, I'm in trouble. I start to get scared because I go, in his mind, based on the last Duke we had with Red, you put out an awesome theory. And you're like, yo, what if Fable gets the delay, but Clockwork might be ready? And Clockwork jumps back in because he's like, I want Clockwork. And I'm like, yo, what if he gets it? Now, this is what I'm thinking in the theater. My friend, I take that back. In the theater, I'm like, oh no, Maddie, but if Maddie's right on this, I'm never going to hear the end of it.
I was ready to be mad annoying about that, how badly or how perfectly I called that if it was coming out this year, bro.
So in the theater, I take this back. So in the theater, I go, okay, no, and then and I go, oh, I wonder how he's processing this now that it says 2027. So then I leave the theater, I'm moving around, I'm moving and shaking. Addict then gives me your stream. And then I see your reaction. And I go, oh, my boy going through it right now.
Yeah.
I will let you tell the story and how you felt
and
overall what you felt about the game.
Yeah, it was a moment of like, it felt so right. That trailer was so good. It was like they're showing more and more, and they're doing the same shit. Like, here's like 5 minutes of god tier shit. Here's the shooting. Here's the questing. Here's the choices. Here's the reactivity. Here's the time traveling. I'm like, they're building it up like this is it. I felt so right in that moment. I was like, oh, this shit looks fucking ready to go. And I see it says it's coming in due time. Like, oh, like I did go quiet. I was, heart skipped a beat. I'm like, oh no, like they're not even committing to a window. Like I was beyond wrong. And I start to see the rattle, start to see it twist. I'm like, here we go. And I see the 7. I'm like, oh man. Like it was a moment of just like, look, I cannot wait for this game. There's no doubt about it. But like, oh man, like I now because like that's the thing was my one hope for like a big RPG this year was Clockwork. So that's gone too. But look, man, taking myself out of it. Take the time you need. This is going to deliver. This will be your game of the year candidate, listener. Whomever you are. This will be on your list. I don't see it going any other way. I don't. They're incredible writers there. They're messing with time period shit. They do choice and consequence like no others. The gunplay looks really great. Customization looks really great. Like it's going to be fierce competition for RPGs. Don't get me wrong. I mean, did you see the Exodus gameplay that came out?
Oh, I heard about it. I didn't see it yet. It's crazy.
If you ever get 20, I know you're busy, man. Okay. When you get 20 minutes though, take some time.
Okay.
Watch that thing. Cog. I think you will be saying, Expanse, thank you for your time. I will be an Exodus boy day one. I only say that just because you and I are Mass Effect diehards, and these both speak to our sensibilities, but I do think you are going to see 3 things specifically that will very much make you very happy with the game when you get the time.
So Exodus back with a bit, because we were slanderous towards Exodus when what you call it was popping off. Okay, because I remember the last conversation, the pendulum was the other way, and you were like, I don't know. So now
I'm telling you, bro, there's 3 moments. Ooh, and you'll see in that trailer, and you'll know them when you see them, and you'll be like, oh, okay,
all right.
But my point being is like it's going to be a fiercely competitive year for RPGs. For Clockwork, though, I think it'll be among some of, if not the best. I just have unwavering confidence in Exile. I really, they're kind of up there with Larian for me. Like I really think they're fantastic. I don't see how they fuck this up. I don't. I mean, this game. Name the other games you've seen where just like every year, even despite being how far they were out the first time we saw it, like, okay, this is a cool idea. 7-minute trailer last year. Here comes another big trailer. It's coming next year. This will no doubt be a Dev Direct game. Next year's Dev Direct is looking stacked between probably this and State of Decay. Like
State of Decay.
But I don't know. I'm like running out of things to say. I think the only thing they need to be careful of is overexposure now. Because like last year I had a lot of new things to say. This year I was like, I literally said, what can I say? I want this yesterday. Like this looks ready. This looks great. This looks like everything I want. But if you're going to do Dev Direct, it's like, okay, are you overshowing it? You're probably going to do hands-on previews. It can risk again, people seeing it too much and tuning out. And so I want them to be careful of that. So they should probably just continue to go dark. But I'm curious what you thought of this one, sir.
Bro, I mean, what more can we say, right? Again, it's the time period. What do we call it? Is it like steampunk Victorian? What is it?
Victorian era, yeah. It's Victorian era. Yeah, it's got I mean, there's no real distinct time period because it's just traveling.
Yeah, because of the then you have that dynamic, right? And how you can utilize the time and to your advantage and stuff like that. And what I realized with this trailer, I feel like the characters are rich. Like they got personality.
And fucking Darrow.
With
the middle finger, bro. That I was like, yeah.
Bro, then the robots are hilarious, and the little. I like the little midget one. Like yo, it's just the game screams personality. You could tell the choice and consequences there. But then it's that time mechanic that just sets it in this whole different stratosphere, and it's just the most ambitious thing going. And I just loved. It looked like I felt like we got a little bit of an antagonist with that chick, and she was causing problems, and she was going up against the squad, and I just it every time I see it, it wraps me up. But I'm with you now. I don't want to see too much more now.
Yeah,
don't overexpose this game. Because now, like, I am beyond sold. Like, let me know when you're ready. I didn't expect you to be all the way here. I'm happy you're here. I just don't want you to overexpose yourself. So maybe we just now direct, and then you give us the date, and then we're ready to go. But yeah, in Exile, this was you've always been preaching the good word. Yeah. This is our sleeper pick. This was the Xbox Game Studio family that we've always given Obsidian, but we was like, yo, in Exile, people sleeping, sleeping. And yeah, they gonna learn. They gonna learn. So, but yeah,
I just hope word of mouth does its thing, because I'm curious what the YouTube numbers for this is, because I always felt like they were a little soft, and
people still frightened.
Yeah, like 73K in 12 hours. Like it's just not as high as it should be. Like it just is not it's not earning that. Again, this is gonna be a word of mouth game. That's just I've just insisted this is gonna be word of mouth. Like when when people start playing it and they'll be like, oh, this is legit. Like I think that's when it'll catch fire. But it pisses me off that people are like sitting on their hands with this one. I hope it does well. Although I guess it being a console exclusive could narrow that even more so. So we'll see what virality this game actually does earn. I'm still treating it like it's multi-plat. I forgot about that.
That's right. That's a good call out. We got to think about how that now affects Clockwork. For sometimes when people realize it doesn't go to the platform they want to go to, sometimes that affects emotionality.
You think it gets a little review nerve? It's an 8 out of 10 now.
I mean, I'm not gonna go that far. I don't want to be too.
No, I thought that's what you were implying. I misread you.
I know I was implying. I wasn't implying. But at the end of the day, I would hope, what I'm saying, that if it is, a good game, and we anticipate it to be that, right? That
Yeah.
it gets its fair shape. And I just don't. I will say this, I don't want to see this. Oh, it would have been so great if it would have been on platform X. I don't want to see that in the review.
Yeah.
I've seen things like that, and I'm like, come on, let's play fair now. Let's we don't do this with other platforms.
Sure.
Let's just judge it on its merit. That's all I want. That's all I ask. And hopefully they deliver, and we don't even have any of these conversations.
Absolutely. Well, Cog, it's time for the showcase ender before the actual direct happens. And here's Matt Booty. He pulls up, and I'm like, oh, interesting. Matt Booty leading the finale. Thinking of the games this guy could be attached to. And same line, bro. Same line as Phil last year. With us since the beginning. One more thing. It's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4's DMZ mode. And it's not just that. It's a DMZ mode with an extended showing. And it's not only that, but it's a DMZ mode with the Ubisoft ass voiceovers that are two dudes playing together, pretending they're actually on the fucking field of battle. And not only that, but most of it's being viewed through a spectator camera. Your thoughts?
All right, I'm with you. Maddie, I'm with you. I'm not going to fight you too much. I was disappointed. This is what take this from a 9 to like an 8.5.
Yeah, it really docked the score.
I had to dock. We told you, Xbox, we understand this is your moneymaker. We understand that. We don't want to see this close the show. We just don't. It is too commonplace and known. Closing the show is about wonder. It's about surprise. It's about what is next. No disrespect. And here's why it makes it a little bit more egregious to me. Modern Warfare, even though this was a different mode, was shown before the showcase with a separate thing. So I said, maybe you don't even show up. Wishful thinking, right? Maybe you're so hyped that you're so big and you're going to make people pay. You got your own showcase and you don't show up. This is wishful thinking, selfish. This is non-corporate cog, selfish cog. That's what I was hoping, right? Yeah. But okay, business cog, corporate cog, it's the biggest game. It's your money maker. All right, it's going to be there. Please put it in the beginning. Put it in the middle. Set it up. Do not put Call of Duty at the end of the show. Now, here's the thing, though. I will, for the dude bros, I have to give y'all this. This is going to surprise you, buddy.
Okay.
In the building, people was liking this joint.
That's enough. Kick him out.
People, look.
Revoke passes. Consider limited access. Like, it can't be. Can't be.
I ain't gonna call out some bros that we know name, but there's some people we know that when we asked them, they were like, yo, the DMZ, bro, and the shots in the rank. Like, the dude bros were satiated. Here's the thing. It is polarizing from the hardcore gamer. I should say that because some of these dude bros are hardcore gamers. But I will say this. The COD community did like this. I did poll them in the COD community. I don't know about the streets outside.
I'm not checking you. I'm just checking the streets because I'm actually curious.
In the building that were COD bros was like, yeah, bro. Did you hear the sound of that? Yo, dude got his head pitched. Oh, so I'm rolling my eyes a little, but it did say she had the community. But I think we all in agreement. Just please, not at the end. That's all I ask. Give us some wonder, and that's it. I'll leave the rest to you. But I will say there is a good feeling about Call of Duty. I just don't like it for the showcase ender. I will die on that hill.
Yeah, dude. I just think it's just so fucking unacceptable, dude. Like, because here's the thing, bro. I got hit with the immediate. Oh well, Matt. Like I get the patronizing. Well, it's the business, and I'm like, dude. Okay, by that logic, every year this should be here ending the show. Okay, it's a business. It's the biggest game on the planet. It should end every show then. Well, I didn't mean. Oh, what did you mean then? It just gets to end the show 2 years in a row now. Like again, It got the Dev Direct slot. It ended 3 shows when you really want to think. You want me to go that far? Dev Direct slot for Black Ops 6 ends with Black Ops 7.
Yes.
Ends with this. Like, dude, put your fucking little money-hatted boner away and think about the people who are actually watching this thing, dude. I'm telling you straight up, the common COD fan is not here. They are not in the building. If you're talking about connect to console, reconnect to Xbox, Renegade, Spirit, exclusivity, you know you are serving a very small percentage compared to the broader base.
They gonna fight you. They gonna say 360 dudes a COD, bro. They gonna fight you.
And well, thank you for bringing that up. That was my next point. Well, Maddie, it's the shooter box is the origin. Bro, you had Gears up next. You had your dude bro moment. It was there. You didn't need to force this thing into the end of the show. Okay? You could have ended it with Persona 6, which has been anticipation for a decade. You could have ended it with Spyro if you really wanted to, because it actually had fucking gameplay. And it also has been gone for multiple decades. You could have ended it with Clockwork. You could have ended it with Senua, honestly. I would have fucking been fine with that. No one was expecting that. I mean, there's so many ways you could end this. And of course, I'll go back to like title cards. It's Asha's, first big showcase. And really the noise she made was more about console exclusivity. But I will say the letdown here was also that for how much I felt her fingerprints on certain choices, I did not feel it on that one. Because all I'm going to say is like, your first big show, if you're going to reach for the moon and sort of have like the head on a pike kind of moment, like, yeah, Phil would never. She's not afraid to move like that.
True.
She's not afraid to move. I'm not even saying that to be antagonistic. Like, she's not afraid to be like, under the bus you go, Phil. You too, Sarah. Get down there with him. Like, she's not afraid of that. I am very surprised nothing here was greenlit that was like, yeah, like, let's make a moment out of this. Like, we got the team, we got the vision. It's a ways out. Like, I know it's in conflict with their approach to sort of like, hey, we don't want to do that whole announcement thing years out. But all I'm saying is like, there are a few games, a few IP that I think you could cherry pick and be like, I think the exception would be made. That said, just again, heinous behavior doing this 2 years in a row. It just, like I'll try to leave out Black Ops 6. I love the word choice. But like doing the Black Ops 7, one more thing, and then doing it again, I was like, I literally immediately was like, you're fucking joking. Like, it just abysmal choice. I like, for all the listening they've done, I felt so unheard there that I was like aghast. And that's where I'll leave it. Just, I got nothing to say. It was fucking spectator mode footage for most of the gameplay. And Matt Booty's selling it like they've reinvented this shit. And bro, it's literally, okay, instead of the gun being on the right side like it is in every shooter, it's on the left side. Oh, watch out. Here they come. Here they come, dude. Like, I'm such a hater of this shit. I'm going to keep it real, guys. Like, I'm such a hater of this shit. And I'm qualified hater. I played more Call of Duty than you. I played more Call of Duty than you. Like,
talk your talk.
I played it competitively on a serious level. I played it fucking in high school, middle school. I played it in college. Like, I have been there, done that. Do not try to sell me a cow here in this moment. Do not try to do that to me and be like, man, it's actually no. There's no actually in this, bro. There's no actually in this. We're not doing that. We're not doing that this year. We could have done it last year. And this is what happens when Maddie gives grace. Watch any of my reactions last year. Cog and I were like, it's fine. It's a slower year, but it's fine. We sat down. We talked about it on the Mr. Maddie channel. It's fine. Yeah. It's cool. Not the best show ender, but you know what? All right, it's cool. They put on such great showcases. Yeah. Giving you the benefit of the doubt. Mm-hmm. Not this year. You're not getting the benefit of the doubt this year.
This is where
I put you over the knee. Enough.
Spake. Yeah. No, listen. Yep. This is where I feel your argument is definitely the strongest. Is that it's, to your point, like almost 3 years in a row, right? Black Ops 6, the next one, and now this, right? Which makes it more egregious is, again, two year in a row ender, 3 year technically, but you showed the regular version of this prior, and it actually looked decent. You didn't even show that, even though we don't want to see it. You, in my opinion, you didn't show the best version of it because people were popping. Oh, they were China. They're being bold. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it graphically, they drop next gen. I mean, old past gen, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
they're listening.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're listening. You know, and again, we still don't want to see it at that final slot, but it is. And I'm just curious. I think this will be the only, I would say, chink in the armor because I really love their team that does their showcases. You know what I'm saying? What is it? Tina Meanies and whoever the choice was to put this was a miss because again, it's like a shout casting. It is a competitive kind of bro on the left that for your last. Yeah,
someone
no,
from Ubisoft was in the building. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, you know,
they're like, you're like, oh, you got the COD footage. Watch this, bro. Like this, we're about to take this thing from an 8 to a 10.
Yeah, like don't
fake in-game voice chat.
Yes, like don't give me.
Remember 2010? Watch this shit. Like,
yeah, I don't want to hear all my six. And like, no, I don't want dudes yelling at each other. Like, I agree with that. So yeah, overall, you have the strongest argument as to why, and hopefully, we will get back to basics with the Wonder again.
Yeah.
Again, great show. We just don't want to see you in this spot.
Yeah, dude. I just like all I'll say is like I'm at the point I'm willing to appease new leadership. Look, guys, we'll make a deal. If you guys want with Call of Duty, I'll make a deal. You want it in the showcase every year, fine. I will take that. You can put in whatever slot you want, just never end the show with it again. Deal? That's what I would say. You can open it. You can open every year with it.
You can open. Yes.
I'd be like, okay, it's over.
Yes. I agree. We should put something contractually in there. And like, look, if you're going to be here every year, great. You can never end. Let's just say that. You can never end. You always got to start. And I'm going to get to the point. I don't even want you as a director. I don't even want you as a director. I'm going to be real. If possible, I really don't. You know what I'm saying? I would like some new blood all the time. So yeah, I'm with you. We'll sign a petition.
I agree. Just last thing I'll say is the principle of as Cog beautifully put it, of the one more thing is the awe and wonder, the sort of what can it be, the dream announcement. And not every year you have that in your back pocket, but if you need to resort to something, it cannot be the thing that you get every year for the last 20 plus years. It just cannot be that. You just like that. That's the anti one more. That's like, and another one. Like that's literally what it is. Like I don't know how to describe it other than that. So I hope our feedback is heard loud and clear. I know we're not the only ones. I know COD's printing money. I know guaranteed hit maker is a good thing to have. And like y'all feeling real good about that. It's good. I'm very happy for you. You just cannot let it touch our showcase finales. It could be the second to end. I don't give a fuck. The Ender sets a terrible precedent. 3 years in a row. Despicable behavior. All right, I'm done. Anything else you'd like to add on?
You killed it. Hilarious.
Okay, good. Well, the wrap is up here. It's about to be 3 a.m. for me. Let's talk about Gears of War E-Day. I know you're hurting too. All right, so this is the big Dev Direct one. We saw a little bit to open the show, and we saw it to close things out. Again, this is coming out October 6th. How are we feeling about what we saw, Cog?
Ooh, this was interesting. I got thoughts. This was interesting. So before I get into the game itself, I want to talk about placement. I was a little surprised to see Gears start off the show.
I agree.
And at first, I was about to get disappointed. I was worried at first. I was like, why are you here first? Not that you can't start first, but you're in the direct, right?
Yeah.
So
we got your slot. Like
we got you, right? You so then part of me says, okay, Cog, wait a minute. You can't say that because Starfield showed in the showcase as well, and then also had a direct. But I said, wait, past Cog, this is where you're wrong. You're wrong because Starfield, even though it did show somewhat in a showcase prior to a direct, it did not stay for an extended stay.
Yeah, it wasn't just a trailer. Yeah.
Was cooking for a minute. And don't get me wrong, it was cooking. But part of me is like, damn, you are showing a lot of this game. And we know we got a 30-minute direct. So I was a little not concerned. It was just weird to me.
Yeah, I agree.
So now let's move it forward. Asha comes out. I go, oh, you purposely did this because you needed to send the message about exclusivity, and this was the game you had to do it. That's why my only nitpick before we get into the game, oh my God, I got things to say about the game. But my only nitpick was that, okay, maybe you just showed a little bit too much of it. You know what I'm saying? When you're gonna read,
you kind of got your question answered.
Because I wanted wonder. Remember, we haven't seen Gears in a while. Oh. I wanted to be surprised, and now you like, damn, you really snitching. But I get it. I'm gonna give you the pass because you wanted to use this as your jumping off part because you're so proud of it to say this is exclusive to Xbox console players.
Do you think, just a little thought exercise, it just hit me. Do you think they do this because people are leaving after the showcase ends? So at least they get to see some Gears. Do you think?
Yes. Yes.
I was thinking about that. I'm like, I wonder how many people think it just ends and they tab out, or they just don't have the time.
Right. That is what I was also told, I believe, about Starfield. Because I was like, yo, buy Starfield here. You got a direct. I was literally in my feelings.
Starfield had the biggest direct, like 40 plus
and
minutes.
It was fire. It was
fire. It was so good. Yeah.
It was one of the best they've ever done. But my question, I guess my thing is selfishly, I look at it as a spot that could go to a new game. And but then I was told from a programming standpoint, and I had to understand this, there are going to be people that would direct they're checking out.
Sure.
Because let's just say they're not Gears fans, right? This is a way you guarantee someone to at least you had to see it.
A little visibility.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, all right. But my pushback this year, Future Cog just says, just don't snitch so much.
Yeah, you know a little too much. Like there's a little thing. But yeah.
So I get it. Asha, you had your moment. This was your step out moment. This was Xbox Core. This is for y'all. Okay, cool. Now let's get to the game. Oh boy.
Hit me with it.
Okay. First of all, I love the aesthetic. I love a vulnerable Marcus and Dom. I love the idea of a murder state. It almost, I don't want to get too hyperbolic, but it almost gave me, calm down, PlayStation Nation, mini Last of Us breakout. Like, oh my God, what is happening? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
definitely inspired.
Inspired. Let's just use that word, inspired. I know they go, oh, he's saying it's coming. I'm not doing that. Though. I'm just, that whole thing of like, remember when you played Last of Us for the first time and it's going crazy for Joel. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, yo, and the town's going crazy. Buses are crashing into things. And that, it gave me that. And I was like, ooh. And yeah, bro, it looked phenomenal. And then I saw the destructibility. I saw them. I like the idea of Gears and what I consider real world scenarios. Like you're in that supermarket and things are happening. Yeah. And I like the locusts terrorizing humans and snatching it up. It felt like, yo, this is some end of days type thing. I like the energy. It looked visceral. It looked gritty. Then they start getting into the movement. I started seeing the animation with the crouching. I started to see them get low with the cover. I'm seeing the destructibility. I'm like, okay. It was so impressive. I'm like, damn, they really got one. Now, when we get to the direct, because I will say this, but after the first, I was like, okay, it looks good. I'm like, all right, but what's the new thing? That's my only issue. I was like, I just want to know what's the new thing. And remember, I was challenging them in a sense, prior Duke's like, hey, maybe you go class route. I will say I didn't see that still yet. It still felt a little I'll get this trail. This stuff is, I want to be clear. I loved everything that I saw for the most part about Gears E-Day. I am just nitpicking I want this thing to be even greater. You know what I'm saying? Push it to the limit. So that's my thing. I'm hoping there's still maybe one or two more mechanics that they have not alluded to. But I will say this. When I watch it direct, and I'm seeing the weapons, I'm seeing the sound, I'm seeing the narrative beats, and I'm like, oh, you're selling me. Now I'm back. I'm like, okay, I'm even more invested. And I think that's the direct did make me go, no, this is a deep cut. There's still some levels of safeness, but there's enough there that I'm like, no, I gotta jump in. And I like what they're doing. And then finally I will just conclude with the modes. The horde mode was a big deal for me. That's one of my favorite modes. Like the fact that they're gonna have like this horde, I forgot what they call it, like it's like 12 players, and okay, like this is a big deal. And again, this is Coalition showing its chops, not just fidelity, feel, heart, and then obviously the Dom story and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm rambling a lot of emotions, but I thought they did a damn good job. My only nitpick was, like I said, with the whole, you showed a lot of it when I knew you was getting direct.
Yeah.
And then I just feel to really have like an undisputed moment, I needed one unique, never before seen gameplay mechanic where you go, oh, now I will say this. Okay, I do remember one. I did like when the locust jumped on and he was on. That was crazy. I was like, oh,
that was a cutscene until it actually was like the co-op partner freed you. I was like, damn, okay.
Yeah. And the visceral. All right, I'm done rambling. Where are you at with this?
Oh man, I mean, it looks fucking awesome. They did an amazing job recapturing like the original from top to bottom, and so much so. There's this one shot they had of the city, and it was that grayscale brown. And I hand on my heart, I swear, I'm not just saying this for the camera. Thought they showed a flash of Gears of War 1 to then cut back to E-Day to show like how similar they were, and it was Gears E-Day. And that's when I went, oh, like I said it so many times on stream. I said they fucking hit a home run with the art in this game. They could not, like, literally could not have done a better job capturing the essence of classic Gears 1 through 3. Just wonderful. Going back to that gothic horror that we all like, the hardcore talk about with Gears 1 specifically, how intimidating the locusts are, the architecture, the darkness of it all. Not in the story, but the literal lighting, like that, those elements are in full effect here. So I think just it looks brilliant. Sound is really good. I mean, they've got it. The movement looks so improved, but still very Gears. Like the new little wrinkles, low cover, sliding, climbing up on multiple objects, but it's smooth. Jumping. Yeah. Like it's like, okay, this is like From Software adding a jump button in their games. Like it's significant on that level. All we knew was being stuck to the ground and a wall, but now we can get up a little bit. So huge. Gunplay looks as solid as you can imagine it would. I agree with your assessment, though. Safe is a really great word. When we saw the opening, it's like, okay, here's like campaign stuff. I'm like, oh, they got a lot to talk about. And of course they do. Here's single player, multiplayer, horde. This is more a decision of pacing, I think, than anything, on how they want to show things rather than, I think, like indicative of what's ready. I was pretty disappointed there was no multiplayer and basically no horde, a little teaser of what's to come.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
I feel like, again, now that we know this is a console exclusive, and this might indicate why, that it was a last minute decision. If you're talking to the hardcore Xbox fan at this point, hey, come play on our platform. Or you're talking to the person who looks to buy an Xbox, you need to show multiplayer. You can't just show your maps and be like, yeah, imagine all that movement on something like this. Like,
yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah, you got to show it. And you got to show it in a way without all the, because now what's happened is they're going to show it with the open beta, and guess who gets to market it? The wall bouncers, the people who are really annoying in Gears multiplayer. Congrats. You just sold your multiplayer. And by that, I don't mean the good type of sold. Horde mode. Why wasn't this here in a major way? Again, it felt like they just had planned beats. It's not like these things are missing. But yeah, I was a little let down by that. I was like, really? They just showed campaign the whole time. But the reason why I think they did this is because they really focused on essence, on core, like almost scared stiff type focus, where you could tell they did not want to deal with the people online going, they changed. Oh my God, they changed it. It's like, we are going to overemphasize to a nauseating point that this is the exact Gears you knew in 2006 and you loved. And from that point on, we're bringing that back. It's Dom, it's Marcus. Here are the tenets of that with brotherhood, the uneasy relationship that they start with. Like, we're bringing book characters in. Like they're doing it all. Like, and so to that, I respect it. It made for a less interesting showing by the end. Because again, as you mentioned, I didn't see that one, like, and here's something new we're doing. But I guess it kind of makes sense, right? Like, this is them at their youngest that we've ever seen on the screen. And like, are you going to give them like new abilities they've never had before that completely reinvent the formula? Probably not. But some limited weapons or something that changes things. Yeah. But again, what you kind of mentioned about high busters and classes, I'm surprised that at least yet hasn't played a factor. But it did look like just, okay, this is the return to the essence of Gears. And that's going to be really awesome. Like, I can't wait for that because I love Gears 1 through 3. I mean, I enjoyed 4 for what it was. I call it the Force Awakens of the Gears franchise. It's safe. You know what this is going to be. It's fine for what it is. And Gears 5, I mean, front part of the game was fucking awesome. And obviously we know how things happen in the back half of that game. But, going back to the essence here, it's like, I think they're doing a really great job. And I'm glad it's soon. I thought it'd be a September game, but early October, I'll be there. And they I think they did a really good job. I just, again, wish I saw more. And again, I worry for them a little bit bringing people into this multiplayer because, again, like open beta, anyone can hop in. So here come the Gears pros, and they're gonna style on all of us, and I might put some people off. I don't know. I don't know how to put it. It might put some people off.
We gotta see.
So we'll see if they change things dramatically, or if this new movement system, or maybe they get rid of wall balancing. Like, I don't know, but like, I'm just curious how they handle all of that. I'm really curious.
No, that's just well said. I do want to, I know I think I've sounded like more critical than people probably anticipated. It's not that. It really got the essence of Gears and the original trilogy and the horror and the darkness. And you know what? It really started to sink in, like, bro, when they started showing them facial models.
Oh God, yeah.
Bro, I was like, Coalition different. I forgot. I was like, they them Unreal boys.
That was in fact, maybe that's something that glossed over me because I was so expecting that with their Unreal Engine prowess that you forget what it looks like in motion. Like, it's. And you know what, Cog? I'm surprised you haven't brought this up yet. Maybe you were thinking it though. Gears of War E-Day being in October, we get into the GOTY conversation. Maybe could Xbox finally get involved a little bit here?
We're gonna see it again. It depends, like I said, on first of all, I think narratively, I'm not worried. I feel really good about where they're going. You know what really hit me was the callbacks. Like, yo, we're gonna show you how the Lancer and all this stuff was made. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I like stuff like that. And I'm curious about a Cliffy B, because these are obviously his iconic work. I guess I look at him the same way I look at like a Jaffe with certain things, but I really felt they paid proper homage, to a lot of beats of what makes Gears. And like you said, these set pieces and these narrative, set pieces, graphics, music, all once they started breaking things down individually in the direct portion, the more I started to get excited. So yes, they've got a shot. But look, it's a crazy year too. I'm not stupid. Like this, bro, it is bonkers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Me and the Hollow just jumped into conversation. There's so many games that is just it's nuts right now. So it started like, oh, this might be a pretty predictable, game of the year contender list to now like, yo, it's starting to ramp. And then we still got the boogeyman that has not come outside yet.
I totally forgot. I must be so exhausted. Oh my God, I sound like such an idiot. I'm like, you think Gears could take it this year?
It's like, it's great. Everybody, like, the whole industry is shook. He got them all packed up and getting there September. Get in the room. Stay there till I come. So you know what I'm saying? But nah, Gears E-Day, man, very impressed. Blew me away. Can't wait to learn more. You got to show more multiplayer. Give us some hard. And like I said, just selfishly, just give me something you didn't show. Like another little mechanic. And then I'm like, it's undoubted for me then at that point.
My favorite thing I saw from it was the level design. it reminded me of classic Gears, except it molded that ideology from Gears 5 into it. So Gears 5, as people who played it know, was very open at times, like these semi-open areas. And it was, I thought it was, I don't hate it as much as other people because I think it was a very natural progression for where like Gears was going. It was always linear. Okay, open this thing up. Like I get now in hindsight, it's like, oh, this isn't what Gears is. But like in that moment and playing it, I'm like, I mean, I played it a little bit late too. I was like, this felt like where we should have been headed, but doesn't mean it was like the right call long term. Um, Gears 1, 2, and 3 were very co-op driven levels that they made. And so you'd have, I always go to my stadium example. You had the high level and the low level. So like while you're running around like the bowl of the stadium, like I'm shooting from the fucking bleachers. That shit was awesome. They had so many moments like that where you pick your path and your co-op partner goes the other way. And now it's a more organic way. And they kind of showed that in motion. And they were like, yeah, you know, if you're playing in co-op, like you can all hit all these different angles. And so them focusing on that, just really good job. You know, like I thought that was a really exciting reveal for me, is just knowing, like, okay, they have co-op focused level design that's not like confined like prior ones were, or it's like big open areas that you're just driving through. And then when you got off the skiff or whatever it's called, you just like find like a barricade, you take cover, and it would just be like classic Gears. And there was very weird kind of flow Gears 5 had. So this seemed like a good melding of the 5 ideology into what 1, 2, and 3 did so well. And so I'm very keen on that. So yeah, just I think they did a real bang up job. I just wanted to see more of the other features, and I felt like they kind of spoiled a little bit of the time that they had to, whether they could have shown off more. So again, all in all, great showing, but just a little too safe.
Okay, no, that's fair. I could hear that criticism. I could totally hear that criticism. And yeah, like I said, I'm still gonna be there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I should make that very clear. This is just looking at the showing. Sure. Yeah, I was sold kind of from the first trailer. I was like, okay, all right, yeah,
for sure.
Seeing Dom in normal clothes is a little weird. He was so skinny too.
Yes. Yeah. Without the cog armor, it's kind of interesting, right?
Yeah. When he had it on, though, I was like, oh, there he goes. He's a unit now. Like, but when he had it off, I was like, this guy's kind of like looking a little thin. What's going on there?
Do you even lift, bro?
Yeah, he's running around in jeans. I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah, and I know we're gonna get a classic Carmine death, so that's gonna be funny. You know what I'm saying? Kind of.
Yeah,
it's Gears, bro. It's Gears.
Yeah, absolutely. Any final thoughts before we close it out here?
Yeah, another one, man. Absolutely fantastic showcase for the most part. Really, really felt for the most part they put their foot forward, minus some COD stuff. But I really liked this showing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Outside of those two moments being 76 or really just Bethesda's presence and Call of Duty. What? I'm just saying, like,
funny. I love that this guy. What I like that you did, you came with receipts. He's like, look, I compiled the internet's reaction of what was good. I was like,
because I know Bethesda very well, and I know they're gonna be like, oh, Matt's being like mean to us, and I'm like, I'm really not this fucking villain. I swear to God, like there are people, if you look outside, they feel probably stronger than I do, and I'm the person who's trying to voice it to you. So but beyond those two, I mean, great show. I thought they did a really great job this year. Definitely better than last year's show. Just some real heavy hitters here. So very, very exciting show, and can't wait for next year's. No doubt about it. It's always a fun time of year. And I guess it'll be next episode we can catch up on some of the other reveals that happened at like, the Summer Games Fest with the Keeleys, State of Play, all that good stuff. So a lot of stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, it is 3:18 a.m. for me. This is the latest I've ever podcasted. I know COG is shot as hell. This dude's had a more rigorous day than me, no doubt about it. So we will depart now. You got this deep into the show. Let's do late night DD. Let's go with late night DD. Use that hashtag in the comments down below. You see the city is lit behind COG. You see me. I'm just in the same room I'm always in. But nonetheless, we appreciate you being here. We hope you enjoyed. Again, for those who are skimming around and they're like, when am I getting more Duke? You'll find us on patreon.com/laststandmedia as soon as this Thursday, because we will be recording our next episode on Wednesday as per usual. So we'll be back on schedule. And for those of you who listen for free, we'll see you again next Sunday. But otherwise, thanks for being here. Let us know your thoughts on the showcase as well down below. Again, hashtag late night DD. Otherwise, take great care of yourselves and we'll see you soon. Peace out.
Peace.
Defining Duke, an Xbox podcast, is a product and trademark of Last Stand Media and Colin's Last Stand LLC, and is recorded from the United States of America. The show is conceived by Matthew Mr. Matty Plays Schroeder and me, Colin Moriarty, and is written and produced by Matthew Schroeder. Matty's co-host is Barry Lord Cognito Eversley. Defining Duke's executive producer is Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by Ramon Narvaez. As you know, all of Last Stand Media's shows, including Defining Duke, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer support level on Patreon, and we're thankful for your kindness and generosity.